Welcome to Waypoint X Wednesdays. My name is Judd. This is Adam, so stay tuned. Well, welcome back, guys. So we are starting Waypoint X Wednesdays back up. We're in the new shop office. So got the nice refrigerator AC over to my left, and we're hanging in there. So like I said, my name is Judd. This is Adam, and this is Waypoint X Wednesdays. We're going to kind of talk about what all that entails, possibly some history of Waypoint X here or there. But yeah, I'm glad to be back. It's been a minute since I did season 1. And I think it's going to be better now that I have a co-host on here. So, yeah, like I said, my name's Judd. Started Waypoint X in 2018 just as a YouTube channel. And then we have just steadily grown since that. And then I've met Adam within the last year or so. And friendships just kind of taken off and, you know, working on Jeeps and...
Yeah, the root of all evil.
Yeah, just working on Jeeps. It's really just working on Jeeps, really.
Yeah.
And following my shenanigans.
Yes. Yeah. There's a bunch of those.
There's a bunch of those. And we might
stories.
Talk. Yeah, we might talk about those here or there. But yeah, we're bringing back Waypoint X Wednesdays. Had a lot of good feedback from season 1, so we're gonna bring it back. So the vision for season 2 is really to talk about one Jeeps.
Yeah, right.
The off-road adventures, the business. So we'll have like some business stuff going on, talking about the shop. So like I said, Waypoint X did start in 2018, and then we have transitioned. We didn't leave the YouTube stuff behind, just not doing it as much, especially with a kiddo. Now it's kind of hard for us to go wheeling all the time.
Yeah.
And
shop supervisor.
Yeah, exactly. And so going into the off-road business scene, I would say, but we only work on Jeeps, and we'll go into that of why we do that, and then just kind of everything that's happening behind the scenes, because I think a lot of people have that question in their mind of why aren't we posting? Why aren't we out and about? Well, there's a lot going on.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he'll tell you I could stay locked up in here a month and still not be done.
Oh yeah, there's so much stuff that is in the works, that's in the future, that is being worked on right now on top of customers' Jeeps, and the plan and just kind of the vision for where we're going is grown exponentially just in the last few months. So yeah, it's kind of a big deal. Yeah,
so going into like what's changed, the growth of Waypoint X and the transition to the shop life, it's really hard to video. The off-road videoing is easy.
Yeah, it kind of plans itself.
Well, yeah, it's super easy. Caitlin does most of the filming.
Yeah.
And then I have the hours on editing back home. I forget the saying, but it's like for every hour of footage, it's like 3 or 4 hours of editing. It's something dumb.
Yeah.
And so that's been the hardest part. But videoing in the shop, I would say, is even harder, because one, you have to remind yourself to video.
And communicate with the camera, and do I have the right angle? And like,
I don't want to look like an idiot putting this bumper on.
Well, that's the thing too. Like sometimes you're in such a situation like I got to get this done, you know, and it's kind of hard, it's kind of fatiguing, and you don't want to stop what you're doing or undo it to show the camera, and you kind of miss it. And then you obviously deadlines are kind of crucial, you know, and then there's that you never know if the customers or if the people watching are like, hey, this is kind of boring. That's what I always worry about is it intuitive? Do you already know this? Am I teaching you something, or is it boring and you just want to fast forward through it? So that's the
right, like teaching you, hey, this is a 10 millimeter.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know? So
yeah, exactly.
That's kind of the growth. The garage side, the shop side, I would say, is getting bigger and bigger.
Oh yeah.
More and more customers. It's a lot to handle, but we're getting there. Got some software stuff to kind of keep up with that, which is.
I would also say too. So, in the beginning, it was just like Jeeps progressed. We kind of progressed. We were kind of exclusively JKs for a long time, and that's kind of grown into the JL and the JT market now. So, there's a lot of learning curves with learning a new Jeep. I know it's all Jeep Wranglers, but if you ever touched a Jeep, you know that different bodies, different models have different things that they do even from axles, and that's we experienced that with the with that JL that we did the axle swap on.
Right.
There's so much stuff that you would assume would be normal or consistent, and sometimes with Jeep it's not.
Especially for the JL market in general, because back in the JK world, it was Sport, Sahara, Rubicon. That's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
And that was basically it for the TJs too.
Yeah, for sure.
And so, I mean, you had the Sport X, but that was like, okay, cool. You got powered windows. You know what I mean? Like,
thank you.
Yeah, cool.
Well, what's your number one gripe about JLs? You made this comment when we were out riding one time with somebody. They asked you about what axles do I have, Judd? And the JL was the big one where they changed and they went away from the
typical, Sport Sahara Rubicon, where the Rubicon had the 44s, it had the lockers, and it had the sway bar disconnect, and it had the transfer case.
Exactly.
And now you have it's a la carte.
Yeah. Well, the other
you go order what you want. I mean, I know there's some limitations here or there, but for overall, it is a nightmare to keep up with them because it literally they put a name on a Jeep now. Yeah. Whatever the cool name is for the whatever's hitting the social media platforms.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we're gonna name it.
Yeah. Well, the other
the
thing,
Mojave, the Willys, the this, the that, the.
Well, then the other thing that you have that is very difficult is every axle in a JK is a Dana something.
Dana 30, Dana. They did have 35s.
Yes, unfortunately, I had to eat some crow, but yes, I learned that as well.
Very, very early on, the 44s, and then you went to the JLs.
Now we're talking. This is what I wanted to kind of touch on because,
and then it's like M2 this,
M2
there it
that.
Is. Yeah, and it's just an absolute nightmare.
It is. It's really hard to keep up with it, and even when you're looking up parts, because it'll say compatible with. And you naturally assume that that's exactly what it'll fit, and you get it here in the shop, and you're like, "Oh crap,
yeah,
that's not it."
Yeah.
So there's a lot. There's a lot of learning curve in the shop side to taking it apart, putting it back together. That sounds universally easy. You would think nut and bolt because we're working on Jeeps,
and then going back to the filming thing, it's hard.
Yeah, it's 100%.
And we'll go back into the whole JL thing and why it's kind of been struggling, but that's where the brand's headed. We've kind of transitioned to the off-road adventure company, but we only work on Jeep Wranglers. That's it. Now we do add the Gladiator in there because it's basically a four-door Jeep that they extended.
Yeah, so I'm a big fan of the Gladiators if they all came factory with the bobbed bed
and 40s.
Yeah, agreed. There it is. I like the idea. I was a big Comanche fan when they came out. Even back early on, even like the honchos, the old school stuff. So the truck bed, and of course the TJs with the Brute, that was phenomenal. So I don't have a problem with the Gladiator. It's just that overhang on the bed. I get why it's there, but a bobbed bed and on 40s is the only way to roll.
Yeah, but that's where the brand's going. So we only work on Jeep Wranglers. One, it's a very niche market.
Yep.
I would say, you do have different Jeep groups and they can hate each other, whatever. But it is a community. It's very tight knit community. So that's one reason. But also, we are able to dedicate ourselves to one platform. We know the ins and outs of that platform, even though they are changing consistently.
Yep.
I was just looking. I was on the phone with Scott right before you got here, and we were talking about this lady that wanted a lift kit. She didn't want something big or whatever, and I was like, he was like, it's a Willys, and I was like, oh well, now they're coming with like the fenders taller. Yeah. They're coming like with the Rubicon fenders.
Yeah. And don't they get a factory locker in the back too sometimes?
Yeah. So, but this one was a 22. Well, they didn't start doing the high fenders until 24.
See,
there's that major difference that we were talking about, that you have to know year
specific
and the not model, but the
what would you call that? Submodel,
the trim.
There you go. We'll go with that. Yeah,
the trim package. Yeah, that it got. And then I've even seen going off into the weeds, and then we'll get back on script. We're horrible because we'll just
ramble.
We'll just ramble. So, with all that being said, if you have a question of what we're talking about, please put it in the comments below. We'll answer it next week.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll have like a little couple little Q&A, that we start off the episode with, and we can kind of answer those questions. So we can get to talking in the shop, and next thing, we'll be talking about half doors, and then next thing you know, we're talking about gears and a axle.
Yeah,
and we're like, how did we get here?
Yeah,
like how did that come together?
Yeah.
What were we even talking about?
So yeah, right.
But no, the whole Waypoint X garage, just transitioning into that, still doing the adventures, still going off road, but just off road adventure company, and the shop is only dedicated to Jeep Wranglers, just so that we know that platform, we know how to work on that platform, and we can make good educational decisions for our customers, and we can back the product.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is customer based. Trust is a big deal in any automotive market. So
right.
if you take your vehicle to a shop, the number one thing that you want is some sort of honesty and trustworthiness, right?
Right.
And if you take a Jeep that's an off-road vehicle to somebody, you want to be able to try to say, hey, I hope you specialize in this, because if you've ever been around a Jeep community, getting an alignment, just a simple alignment, can be a nightmare sometimes, because it's an off-road vehicle, it's larger tires, all the things, right?
Right.
So
they're full axles. It's not independent suspension.
Exactly.
So yeah.
And I think that as of right now, the Jeep is the only one left that still has an SUV with a solid axle up front. But stuff like that. So specializing, if you will, in that particular market helps the customer base. It helps us, obviously, but it also helps them feel a little more.
And nothing against other shops, but they're doing this truck, GMC truck, Ford truck, whatever truck, and then they're doing this, a Tahoe or whatever the case may be. And then they're doing all these different manufacturers and different models, and they're having to learn all these different lift kits and parts.
Yeah.
We are on one platform, and we know that platform.
Yeah, something else to go with that, too. Usually, when you talk about a shop, let's just take trucks, for example, and you can take half tons, 3/4 tons, whatever. Usually those shops only deal with the newest stuff that's out there, because the techs only know the newest lift kits and the newest stuff on the market. Well, if you're talking about Jeeps, man, you've got people with CJs and TJs, and then they come in here with a JK and JLs. So it would be almost impossible for us to be that broad and be able to be, I want to say competitive, but maybe that's not the right word, but efficient in trying to get customers accurate and
right, because I still have a full-time job. I'm a fireman, paramedic, and so I still go to work every third day and do that. And then this is the side, but I mean, I would say I put just as much effort into this as I do my full-time job. Sometimes more. And so we're very dedicated with the Jeep platform and making it perform not only on-road but off-road. And I think that's the biggest.
There's the key.
That's the key to all of this is we are wheelers.
Yeah,
we go off road, and I know not all of the listeners are going to be going off road. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Or dirt roads, whatever the case may be. But when you do go off the pavement,
it changes the game.
It changes the game, and so you not only want that Jeep to be set up, you want it to be set up for both.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
And so with it being set up for both, now it performs, it works well, it drives well, and then you're just a happier customer that's not broken.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have the people who have a lot of money and they have a dedicated off-road rig, and it could be any rig, custom built, two buggy, busted knuckles kind of thing, But for the most people, blue collar, like we are, you don't have that much money, that much funding to be able to do that.
Right.
So you have to kind of 2-in-1 it, right? The Jeep has obviously been around for years to be able to pull that off. So it makes a lot of sense. However, I think the key that you're talking about is the ability to drive it to the trail, do the trail, and drive it home. Even if you trailer it, but being able to drive it to the grocery store or whatever and it not kill you,
Right. And I get a lot of flack for trailering mine, but I have to make it back for the fire department.
Well, there's reasons.
So I gotta work.
There's also reasons that I think that people don't really understand why you trailer that too, and maybe that's a tabled topic for another day, but there's a lot of times that you'll trailer yours on a 40-foot gooseneck by itself, and it looks completely odd, and people think that, you're being stupid, but why?
Yeah.
But when you trail ride with Waypoint X, there is a kind of a gentleman's agreement that if you break, we get you off the trail. But if you break bad enough and you still can't drive it home, we would put you on the trailer and get you home.
Right.
So
I've done it multiple times.
Exactly. Like there's been times that you've done it when it's not even your ride that you went to go get people.
Yeah.
So there's a reason behind that method to the madness, if you will.
Yeah, there is. It's also a lot more comfortable.
Agreed.
But but going to the whole thing, and what I get the most flack for is, that thing can't drive down the road.
Oh, that's false. I can vouch. I have been in that Jeep as it currently sits, aired down, on ORIs, and I've seen it drive 70 miles an hour with one finger on the steering wheel. I've witnessed it, me personally.
Thank you. You have a witness.
Yeah, I actually got to see it because I will tell you. I
was aired down like 10, off the trailer.
PSI. Yes. Yeah, literally came home, took it off the trailer. So we'll just kind of go into just a touch of it. For those of you who don't know, ORIs are a shock and a spring combo. You remove that.
It's like an air shock.
Exactly. And it also does away with your sway bars. So a lot of people who don't know, if you've never seen these things, they gained a lot of ground the last couple of years, but at the time that he built this one, it was not very common. They had kind of hit the market. So when you saw a Jeep that looked like, and from a distance it does, the way it looks normal, made, but it also looks like a coilover. Yeah. So from a distance you think this dude's running a coilover with no shock, and he has no sway bars. There's no way that thing rides on the road. So, and I'll be honest, I will admit, when I first saw it, I thought the same thing. I was like, there's no way this dude drives it down the road. Turns out it will. And very comfortably, might I add.
Yeah, like you don't feel anything.
No, so we built my two-door with a custom 3-link and a long arm in the rear, and his drives down the road not only more comfortably, but straighter than mine does. So those of you...
It's a two-door. That's why.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
But we're going to see.
Yeah, so
of the making of this video, like in a couple of weeks, we're going to see your Jeep wheel.
Yeah.
So we did some brackets by Evo for the rear.
Those are really cool, by the way.
Yeah, but then we basically, from the frame back to the axle, was all custom.
Yes.
Except the bracket, like Evo did come with the lower brackets. We did those. Yeah, but like the control arms, we custom built those. And then the
perches, you also built the perches.
Yeah, the perches are custom. And then with the front is a Rusty's cross member that holds the lowers only.
Correct.
That's it. Mm-hmm. And then he had a truss on it, and I made a custom 3-link.
Yeah. So let me preface this story just a touch, because it sounds like we had a whole bunch of time, and we did not. So this was 6 days before Jeep Jam. That Waypoint is responsible for doing the obstacle course at. So he goes down for like 13 days, and he has to completely build an obstacle course in a parking lot. And then at the end of it, when everybody gets to go home, he has to stay and tear it apart. And I say he, but most of the time he has people there in the beginning to help, and then some of us stay late to help, but he's there the whole time. So we get this grand idea that we want to do a long arm setup. Well, technically I did, on my Jeep. So he's like, let's do it. Yeah. So he's like, pull it in the shop. So we pull it in the shop, and on a Saturday, Sunday.
By the way, you texted me like 400 times, like, we can't do it. You can't do it. Yeah. Okay, we can do it. Oh, we can't do it.
Yeah, it was. I was very wishy-washy because I've been in structural steel fab for 25 years, so I know how to fit and weld, and fabrication is not scary to me. But doing it to that level on a Jeep, I had never touched that before, so it was very.
You were also very new to the company.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like I was like 3 months in.
Yeah.
So
and hadn't seen like custom build stuff, like more like just bolt on lift kits and stuff.
100%. Yeah, I was a nut and bolt guy, so if it could be in a box,
I mean, you saw mine, but that was it.
Yeah, but I wasn't present
during that
process, so I didn't see that. So he orders the brackets. Hey, we're going to go with this. We're going to do it. So I start tearing into it, kind of pointing no return. Well, we get the rear done, which is pretty straightforward if you can imagine custom fab being straightforward. And then he says, well, what do you want to do on the front? So I will say this. Let's touch on this for a second. Waypoint X is really, really good about two things. One, customer information and allowing the customer to kind of navigate, but also really good about information about, hey, what do you want to do with your Jeep? And we think maybe think about this as an option, right?
Right.
It's not just a, hey, tell us what you want, or here's the only option that you have.
Right. I want to pick out parts. We all do. So
right.
We got Scott, yourself, and myself.
Yep.
That are shop riders, sales guys, and we all bounce off ideas. We've got a group chat basically.
Yeah, really.
Sending new information out that we find either it's about a Jeep or hey, this tire's come out or wheel or whatever we're talking
Content,
about.
Yeah.
And just bouncing ideas off each other because things change so much
All the time. Somebody's always coming up with something new, right?
Yeah.
So we figure out that I decided I wanted to do a Y link for a long arm up front, and
Which is there's a few shops out there that do it, or a few manufacturers that do it.
Yeah, Rusty has a really good setup for it, and we were trying to mimic that. However, I was going to run Heims, and he prefaced this in the beginning. Hey, I don't really know that you're going to be able to pull that off. Well, I wanted it, so we tried it, and we spent basically a whole day.
I knew it wasn't going to work.
Yeah, but you let me try.
I let him go for it.
Yeah, and
because the thing is, if you don't let somebody try it, they'll never know that it does not work.
And why? That's the key.
Like, because I'm a big why person. So why are you putting that lift kit on your Jeep? Why are you putting that wheel and tire on your Jeep? Because if you're going to wheel it and you're like, well, take Scott, for example. He doesn't mind me telling the story. This was like early on when we were kind of starting to really wheel with each other. He wanted to buy some wheels and tires. I think he was on 37s at the time, and he was like, I'm just going to buy some whatever wheel. I was like, brother, why not just go ahead and just save for another month and buy bead locks?
Yeah, right.
Like, do it once, cry once, and be done.
Yeah, buy once,
and
cry
he is now, though he is off those bead locks now. Like, he's on some different bead locks now because he changed colors. But
yeah,
he made that purchase, and he was like, I'm so glad I didn't spend twice. So our goal is for you not to spend twice. We also want to put components on your Jeep that is I would say growable, so like through the life, because I went from every lift possible. My Jeep, you had a pug lift, so leveling kit basically.
Yeah, there you go.
2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5 3/4. Now I'm on ORIs.
Yeah,
I've hit all of them.
Yeah, so and I think that's a big deal, and I think like the times that Scott and I have had the conversation in lieu of trusting someone is what we were talking about earlier. Scott will tell you this, and I've heard him say it. Whatever Judd tells me to do, I would trust that, right? So that's a big deal in the Jeep world. And it doesn't just go for in the shop parts, but on the trail, spotting, stuff like that, right? You trust that person.
And I'm not trying to sell y'all guys. Like, I'll help you. Even if you don't order from me, I don't mind helping you.
I got a story about that, by the way. Yeah.
And, yes, we do sell parts. Any manufacturer you think of, whether you look them up on Northridge, Extreme, whatever the place may be.
Yeah, right.
Motobuilt, whoever. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm looking at a Motobuilt poster, PRP, Rusty's in front of me.
Yeah, everything's in it.
Like, all the brands are over there. We can get it from anybody. So you name a Jeep product, we
Genrite, Evo, all those.
Yeah, Warren, it doesn't matter. We can get it.
Yeah.
And so we want to help you out, but we also want to put something on your Jeep that is going to last.
Yeah.
That's quality. We don't want quantity. We want quality.
Yeah, so that's, and I think
I'll let you finish your story because we went on a rant.
Yeah, so now we're back to my two-door and the Y-link that didn't work. And so now what do we do? And he says, well, let's just do a 3-link. And I said, what? Why? How are we doing that? Right. So if you've never been in the shop with Judd, Judd comes up with things sometimes out of nowhere.
But I've been thinking about this for a hot minute.
Yeah, so he's been on this in his head because, like he said, he had already kind of made up his mind. He didn't think it was going to work, so he was thinking of alternatives, which I didn't know. But so,
hey, you had to know the why.
Exactly.
I want to know the why.
Exactly. So now I completely understood why you cannot do that the way you can do it. You can still have the Y-link, you just can't use Heims. Yeah. So there's the key. So then he says, let's do the 3-link. All right, fine. How are we doing it? So I'm at work. I have a normal job too. And then I'm here in the afternoons and on the weekends. And when I get here, he's like, we're going to do the 3-link and we're going to put it here. And he has taken some other brackets. I think there were some Rusty's brackets.
Yeah.
And then we also have an arc droid in the shop. So that's really cool, by the way. So we can
water table CNC plasma.
Yeah, there you go. So we can cut out our own parts. If you need custom parts, we can do that too. somebody in the room has taught themselves Fusion AutoCAD. Not me, by the way, if you're asking. So he cuts out these gussets and these brackets and basically takes a Sawzall to the top link mount on my truss and cuts it off. And I'm just like, well.
Oh, the factory one, like it's gone.
Yeah, he pointed no return, like we're doing this. And so we get it all put together. And if you look under my Jeep, minus the wiring.
Don't look. I haven't fixed that yet.
But if you look at the fab on my Jeep, I honestly think that you would think it was a kit as well as it worked out. And I'm a huge two-door fan. I've been a two-door fan since the TJ hit the market, so I love two doors. And my Jeep has never, on 37s and beadlocks, never driven that good, ever, in its life, ever. Like, it was a horse and buggy until then. And I just thought
we drove it
that night.
That
11:30.
Yeah, it was super late. And I was
the day before you left for Jeep Jam.
Oh, yeah. And because you were going to finish it up, kind of, tighten all the bolts, to get all, make sure, double check
everything up.
Yeah, all the wiring. But do all that. And I just looked at you and I said, you want to drive it?
I didn't even know it was done.
Yeah,
at that point.
Yeah, I said, well, it's drivable. And so we raised the door of the shop, and like you said, it's like 11:30 at night.
Yeah.
And he takes off, and you were very surprised.
Oh, man, I was shocked. Like, his road's been repaved, but there used to be some potholes and some divots and I would have to dodge them in my Jeep. Not because I had death wobble, not because it was just uncomfortable. Like, I knew I had to dodge them, and I'd gotten so used to that. And Judd was like, "Hey, don't just go straight." And we hit them, and it was completely different. And I was thinking, "What in the world? How did we do this?" So the suspension setup is a big deal, and to take the time to set it up correctly and to know what you're doing and all the ins and outs. The one thing, there's been a comment that Judd's made repetitively, two things in the shop. One, we want to be the Ferrari, right? We want to be the best out there. We would rather do less customers and higher quality than volume, like he just said, but also treat it like it's ours.
Yeah.
Like every customer, that's my Jeep. Like if I wouldn't do that to my Jeep or your Jeep, then we wouldn't do it at all. So,
like if I don't like something, I'll just redo it.
Yeah. There's been times that technically I would tell you in a shop setting, we were done with the Jeep, and he's made us redo it because it wasn't up to par. So there's a lot of stories about that I would tell you have kind of led me to want to be a part of something like that, because it feels really, really good to know that you can trust
you're
that.
doing it right.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm learning a lot of what, like I said, I was a nut and bolt guy, and I know how to fab, I know how to weld, I can do all this stuff, but it's the setup.
Yeah.
And I think that's why Jeeps get the bad rap. People put the cheapest part, and everybody has that, what is that mindset? A budget build.
Right.
Right? So in a budget build, I'm going to get the cheapest part out there. Well, budget doesn't necessarily mean the cheapest.
Right.
But you put that budget part on there, and then it doesn't last, it fails, or it's not set up right, and then people get rid of the Jeep, and then they give the Jeep a bad name. Well, Jeeps drive terrible. They don't off-road
or
like they think.
Death wobble. Or
right, exactly.
It bump steer.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it wanders all over the place. It hunts. I can't get it to drive straight. All the things that we deal with every time a customer's Jeep comes in. And it's because either A, it's not a quality product, or B, it's not installed correctly.
Right. And then they take it to 400 different alignment places
that are for cars and trucks.
And they put it in the machine. It gives them a check mark, and they send it on their way.
Yeah, so there's a lot of setup that goes into like an alignment, like I was talking about earlier. And for the most part, if you go to any shop that does just regular vehicles, it's toe in.
Yeah.
How many times have you said that's not the way we set those up?
Yeah, it's not. And y'all can fight in the comments about that, but good luck.
Yeah. So
because mine drives down the road pretty well.
Oh, absolutely. It tracks really well, returns to center really well. So there's a lot of stuff that I think that leads into some of the stuff we were going to talk about, as like, what do you do to set up a Jeep properly?
Right.
So I don't know. It's been a very eye-opening experience, because I was that guy. I was the budget guy. I was the Amazon guy.
Right.
Right.
And he could say this because you've been with Waypoint X, what, 6 months or less?
Yeah, 6 months now.
And so I'm not paying him to say
no,
this.
These are personal experiences.
Yeah,
trust me.
I promise you, Adam is not the guy that's gonna try to fill you full of crap.
No, this is firsthand. This is real world.
And so it's been a good thing.
Yeah,
Let's
very
just say
good
that
experience.
it's experience.
Yeah.
For the both of us, just growing Waypoint X because we are, like I said earlier, transitioning into this shop, not leaving anything behind, just kind of expanding the business per se.
Yeah, growing the brand.
Brand.
Yeah.
And we want to help the Jeep community. We're here for the Jeep community, really the off-road community. And setting up vehicles the right way.
Yeah. So
with quality parts.
So I'd never seen, and it was, my Jeep was kind of a nightmare when it came in. It was a cobbled together misfit of parts that I'd thrown at it to try to make it look good. And I think that's another avenue that Jeepers get into. You want it to look a certain way. Like most people who buy a Jeep immediately want it lifted in wheels and tires.
Right.
You want that look. And there's nothing wrong with that, but there's a more advantageous way to accomplish that without it just being thrown together like mine was.
Right, and we can walk you through those different steps.
Yeah.
So if you want this lift, this tire kit, whatever it may be, we can walk you through that scenario, or we can walk you through this scenario.
Yeah. So let's talk about that too, because I had another story about the whole helping outside without having to buy parts kind of thing. So it was probably 2 years ago. Obviously, I wasn't working here at the time, and we had gone on a night ride in Talladega National Forest with a group, and we were out there all night, hours and hours and hours, and my steering was subpar. I mean, it was basically factory steering on 37, so it was terrible.
Let's go.
Yeah, right. Just send it. And so we get death wobble on the way home, and
which is the scariest thing ever.
It will scare you to death if you've never experienced it.
So I have a Jeep currently. We won't talk about that yet because I haven't. We just won't talk about that.
Yeah, let's not get there.
But knowing what I know, and we'll go into this in another episode of knowing what I know. Like we're putting ball joints in it and everything like that because I know what is causing
the why.
Yeah,
exactly.
And that's the thing is. This lift kit does this because they wanted to accomplish this, and that's the why.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and I think that's
east-west wheeling,
100% different. Like 100%.
Or this seat and this harness.
Yeah.
Like, why are they putting these together? Why are these joints in it? Why are you going with this joint versus this joint?
Yeah, there you
go.
There's
the why.
Yeah, 100%.
So go back to your story.
So I get death wobble, and if you've been around Jeeps enough, you've heard that term, and if you don't know what it is, you're one of the lucky ones. But you will experience it at some point or another. Now, to know the why it causes that helps alleviate some of that stress, but I didn't know that at the time. So I reached out to everybody, social media, all of the platforms that you can imagine. Hey, man, where do I take this? Who do I talk to kind of thing? And I tried a couple of different things not to fix it. So the Jeep club that I was with at the time, Judd's name came up. So I thought, well, I'm going to give this dude a try. And they told me, they was like, look, sometimes it's kind of difficult because he's a firefighter, but just text him. So I texted him. And I'd met him maybe twice at the time, just in passing. Hey, man, how you doing kind of thing. And so I text him, hey, this is what I got. This is my Jeep. This is the problem I got. And now, mind you, again, remember, full-time job, owns a shop, and has no idea basically who I am or what I'm doing. And he says, well, tell me what you got. So I told him. And he said, what's the problem? And I said, well, I've got death wobble. I bought these parts. I'm trying to put all this crap together to try to stop it. What should I do? And so over the course of probably the next 3-ish months on and off, it's me texting him and me working on it in my driveway. Try this, try that. Right. Try this, try that. So...
because there's a lot it could be.
Yeah, right. Saying at the time I didn't know, and he had never seen my Jeep physically before, so he had no idea what he was looking at or getting into. And so he would say, hey, try this, try this, try this, try this. And he never once at the time said, you got to buy this part or this will fix it. He said, just keep trying this. And there was a couple of phone conversations that on the phone he said to me, if you can't fix it, just get it down here to the shop or I'll come get it and we'll figure it out. So I was like, you know what, that's kind of saying a lot for somebody to not know me and own a shop where they can make money, because it's really easy for you to say, oh, I know what's wrong with that. Bring it down here and we'll charge you some money and we'll fix it. So takes me a couple months and I start getting the parts. Hey, man, you need to upgrade your steering. Hey, you need to check this, check your ball joints, check your tires, blah, 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 blah. So the definitive really turning moment was setting the pinion angle. And I did a lot of reading and a lot of research. So I'm sure a lot of people do this too. But I kind of figured out.
Forums say 100 different things.
Exactly. So that's what I was saying. So I get all this information and I start kind of bouncing it off Judd. Like, hey, what do you think about this? Do you hear this? Is this what you do, kind of thing? And he says, take an angle finder and go out in your driveway and tell me what the slope of your driveway is. And I told him. And he says, okay, set the angle finder on the case spreader holes that are on your tubes and tell me what that reading is. And I told him. And he said, okay, this is what you need to do. And I thought, what? So I adjusted it, and it was like a full 2 or 3 turns on my joints, upper and lower, to get this thing situated. And I thought, there's no way this is going to fix this. Like, I'll be honest with you. I was like, nah.
You thought I was crazy?
Well, we had tried everything else and nothing else had really worked. It had gotten better progressively every time that I had done it. Just, I wanted it gone because at the time, my wife was driving the Jeep to work every now and then. So she was in it, and I was kind of worried about it happening to her. So I told her, I said, look, I don't want you to drive it until we fix it definitively. Right. And I thought, man, he's getting me close, but I just don't know that he knows everything. So we try this, and I get the caster set, and I get the pinion angle set, and we drive it, and, like, it's straight. Like, and I'm purposefully going over bumps, and there's no death wobble. And I thought, no way. So it wasn't until the next day. I'm super happy the Jeep's fixed, right? So doors are off. We're riding in the Jeep. We go out to dinner, and we're sitting there, and I told her, I said, man, the one thing that I feel like gets overlooked is that. Like, it was the opportunity to help someone, not take advantage of them to spend money, but to take time out of your day when you could have been making money, right? Yeah. I mean, we're talking, some of these conversations were 20, 30-minute text conversations. You know how long that takes to do that? To help me, somebody that you didn't know at the time, just to help the Jeep community. So that was the turning point for me. That's kind of when I knew, okay, look, this dude knows what he's talking about, number one, and the willingness to help other people. Like,
it's hard to do it over text too, of like, hey, check this, because
it's impossible. It's hard.
Yeah, because like when I'm looking at a Jeep, it's almost like muscle memory.
Yeah,
and you start looking here, then you look there. Here, there. You
can also check. You have that thing where you put your hand on the joints and stuff like that you do systematically that you can't do.
I just talk to it.
Yeah, right. You're the Jeep whisperer.
The whisperer.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of hard through text and just trying to say, hey, do this, this, and this, which would take me literally
30 minutes.
Or like I'm talking like doing certain checks would take
less than that, minutes,
seconds, possibly. Yeah. And, having to explain that over text,
the
why and this, that, and the other. And it's like, that's hard to, sometimes it's hard to get it from here to here.
Well, to navigate that and to explain it for somebody like, hey, look, put your hand on this joint and have somebody do this with the steering wheel or have somebody do this. Like, you're like, what are you telling me? I'm doing what? Like, I've never done this before. So now you're having to think outside the box. Like, how do I make this person understand what I'm telling them, which is
when I'm not there.
Yeah, that is normal to you. That is absolutely, completely blind to me. So that was kind of the big telltale sign for me that I was talking to the right person.
I guess it probably comes from the fire world, but if you kind of think about it, I mean, not all firemen are great.
Yeah, right.
There are some really crappy ones out there, like
any
profession, any trade, anything like that. But when you do call 911. You have some stranger come into your house and you trust them.
Yeah,
blindly.
Blindly trust them.
And so that's kind of what I've built the shop around is I want them to trust me.
Yeah.
They bring their Jeep in here. It's family. I'm literally the doctor, or the paramedic,
exactly.
The fireman for their Jeep. They want to set it on fire because it has death wobble. I'm trying to keep it. I'm trying to,
save his life.
Yeah, I'm trying to save it, know.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, don't go to the crusher.
Yeah, I was definitely there to the point to where we had the conversation about getting rid of the Jeep to get a Bronco.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I saved you.
Yes. Yeah, like I was a huge Jeep fan. My family had Jeeps growing up. Like we had old Army Jeeps and stuff, and I had never experienced anything like that. So when that happened, I was just like, you know what? I'm a Ford guy. I'm getting a Bronco. And
I saved him.
Yeah, so I understand their independent front suspension. They do ride smooth, but
I don't think they will the same.
They do not wheel the same at all. So,
and then we can go into that topic.
That's another
topic. We're rambling so
yeah.
much. But guys, if you have a topic suggestion,
yeah.
Question, I know we hit a lot of squirrels. So the ADD,
What's a new one?
ADHD,
Yes, we're both
of that. Very much so. The medicine is wearing off for me. So with all that said, if you have any questions, we'll answer those on the next episode. If you have any suggestions for a topic, we've got a list of topics already that we're kind of going by. But if there's a big interest in a certain topic, apologize in advance. We might go on little tangents here or there.
Lost in the weeds.
Yeah, lost in the weeds. But this just being the first one, just kind of talking through some things.
Well, let's talk about that since we're on that subject. So you said that Waypoint as a business, it was in 18, right?
Yeah, 2018.
All right. So you, as a history of a Jeeper, what's your story? At what point did you touch the Jeep life? Did it turn on for you?
So it was in high school. I was dating a girl at the time, and her dad had a Jeep, and I wanted a Jeep, but my dad was like, no.
Yeah, mine was too.
So, especially because that was, I think I kind of wanted the Jeep before the JKs, or right there when the JKs were coming out, and so the four-door was not a thing.
Yeah.
So it was just TJs.
I'll tell on myself a little bit here. I was old enough that I remember when the TJ came out in '97, and I wanted it so bad. I could see. I
was born, guys. Okay, I was alive,
young in here. So I wanted the TJ, and of course, then the LJ was the unicorn. But then it kind of faded out a little bit because my dad was the same way.
And so, my dad being my dad, I basically wanted a Jeep. Mm-hmm. Now I did drive my grandfather. My grandfather gave me his truck. Then he passed away, and I kept driving it through high school and part of college. But I was like, I knew I wanted a Jeep.
So what kind of Jeep was it that they had?
So they had a white TJ.
Oh, they had a white TJ. Okay.
I can't remember if it was a Rubicon or not, but I was like, I
remember the Jeep.
I just remember the Jeep. And so that's kind of where it kind of started, even though I didn't know anything about it.
So what was the attraction? Was it the top off, doors off, or the wheeling ability? Was there really
both? I think it was just that cool factor. It just kind of looked cool.
Yeah, me too. That's
I think that one had half doors. If I remember correct, I can't.
Absolutely.
I just know it was white and it was a TJ. That was it.
That's close enough.
Close enough. And so I really wanted one. My dad was like, nope. Then I was like, what about a four-door?
So what was his reason?
I was gonna flip it.
Okay, all right. Okay, that was mine too. Yeah, same thing.
Because the TJs are narrower.
Yes.
And then the four-door came out, and I was doing my research. Hey, they're wider, they're longer. This, that, and the other. And he was like, because I actually bought my Jeep, so I saved up money through high school.
Was this? Okay.
I bought it in college.
Okay, so you went through high school with no Jeep.
Freshman, it's probably my sophomore year.
So
that'd have been like
2011, 12ish.
That'd have been like either 12 or 13.
Okay,
something like that. I bought it and I brought it home and started doing stuff.
All right. So when you bought it,
so the reason I bought it was my dad. I bought the Jeep, but at that time, I mean, I was struggling.
Yeah.
We were all struggling during that time. And he was like,
college kids.
If you buy a four-door, because I was buying it with my money, he said, if you buy a four-door, I'll pay the insurance. I was like, done?
Really?
Yeah, he was like, I'll pay your insurance if you buy a four-door.
Wow. Okay. So, all right.
So I used my money and bought the four-door versus a two-door.
So did you like the four-door better look-wise?
No, I wanted a two-door.
You wanted a two-door. Okay. See, I knew there was a good in you.
But I bought the four-door because I was like, I don't want to have to pay insurance.
Absolutely. I would have bought the four-door as well. So what year is your Jeep?
It's an 09.
Okay. And this is the same Jeep that he currently has and possesses today.
Yeah, 180,000 miles later.
So when you bought the Jeep, stock as a box of rocks?
Oh, stock. It was a Sport X, which it did have the power windows. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. So Sport X, it was black in color.
3.8.
Yeah, it had a 3.8 in it, and I bought it with 33,000 miles on it.
All right. So 33,000 miles when you purchased it. What does it have now?
180 plus.
And it still runs like a sewing machine.
Oh, yeah. You turn that thing on and just purrs like a kitten.
Okay.
And I have beaten the crap out of that thing.
So I don't know if you can tell, I don't know if you can see it in the camera shot, but in the shop there's all kind of memorabilia of the travels of Megatron.
That's what he calls it.
Yeah, that's what I call it because that's what it looked like when I first saw it. I thought, oh my God, it looks like a monster truck, but it's the way that it's built. But he's done so many things with it, like the trails at Windrock, and you've been to the Rubicon, that's a bucket list item. He's been to Moab. That for me is probably the ultimate. I want to go to Moab so bad I can't see straight. What was your last wheeling trip? You just got back from Texas?
Texas.
Okay. That was with Jeep Jam, maybe?
No, yeah, that was Lano.
Okay. So that was the most recent.
That was the most recent.
So this Jeep has literally been all over the country.
Yeah. To one side of the...
Yeah, Florida to California to... I guess it's California, right? The Rubicon in California?
Yeah, yes. Near...
Lake Tahoe
and all that.
Yeah.
I can't think of the town. I'll think about it like in 20 minutes.
It'll come to me
later. But yeah, we've been to California, Colorado, Utah, Arizona. These are places I've wheeled in, so not just driving through.
Yeah, not on the trailer.
Not on the trailer. Texas, Tennessee, Alabama, of course.
Have you been to Arkansas, to Hot Springs yet?
Yes, Arkansas, Missouri.
Okay.
Florida. There was an off-road place I wheeled in Florida.
Okay.
I can't remember the name of it, but it was like 1 year Jeep Jam. Very early on, they took the vendors out for a wheeling day. It was kind of cool. Like they went like a Thursday or something like before, and I just happened to be there, and so I got to wheel there. So that was kind of cool. So I can say I wheeled in Florida because there's not much wheeling in Florida besides sand.
Yeah.
I mean, I've gone on the excursions before, but a sand pit.
South Carolina, North Carolina, anywhere?
Yeah, so I've gone to Uwharrie. I've been to what's that other one? There's a badge there. I think it's in.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that, folks.
Yeah. So, but let me fix that. But yeah, so there I wheeled in Georgia, and then Tennessee, Kentucky, Missouri. So Michigan.
You actually went to Michigan? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So Kentucky, is that the Hatfield McCoy thing, or was there somewhere else?
It was something. It's some other badge there. It's like right on the border somewhere.
So is there anywhere that you would say right now currently that you have not wheeled that would be your bucket list or on a list maybe?
Yes,
okay.
Actually. I want to go back to California.
Okay.
If you're talking about a new state, then...
Well, anywhere that you either... Well, I would like to say haven't been. Let's do haven't been first. Where's somewhere you have not been that you think would be a spot?
I kind of want to get... I mean, I love the East Coast just because I'm from the East Coast, I guess you'd say. But the wheeling is muddy, especially the further you go, like up the coast.
Yeah, it
gets muddier. I would say almost. It's not like necessarily harder to wheel, but it's just
less traction.
Yeah. So if I was going for like sights and just views, like up near Washington and stuff along the coast, there's some cool
Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think you can still drive on the beach in Washington.
There's some cool places there. Just a wheel. Don't want to live there, but just a wheel. No, we're not going to
visit. Visit only.
Yeah, visit only. I don't know of a certain trail in a state.
So, of the places that you have been, what is one place, or maybe more than one? Give us maybe your top three that you would like to go back to.
I want to go back to the Rubicon. Like that's.
Okay. So when you did the Rubicon, what was your setup?
My 37s, Ultimate 44 in the front, stock 44 in the rear, with lockers front and rear.
What was your lifts? Do you remember?
Like 4.5.
Okay, so you've never done it on ROIs?
Mm-mm.
Okay. All right. What's number two? It's Rubicon.
If I had to go back tomorrow, I want to go to Death Valley. And like where King of the Hammers is, I want to wheel there.
What is that? Johnson Valley.
Johnson Valley.
Yeah, there we go.
Death Valley.
It's
same
pretty
thing.
close.
All that, and then there's it's not there's a trail out there that's called Snake Eyes, that's in Lower California, but there's another one, Fordyce. I want to go do that one.
Oh, I've heard that's hard.
Yeah, and then there's one more it's out that way in that direction. Like I'll think about it right after the
podcast is over.
Yeah, we'll go over it episode 2. That one. But if I had to go back somewhere, Rubicon would be the first one. Like that's one that I really want to try to get.
Did you guys camp while you were on that trip?
Oh, that's 2 nights.
Cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
We had hot water, by the way. 2 hot water showers.
Wow.
We brought our propane heater, and you went we all brought like the 5-gallon jugs that you can get from Walmart.
Yeah.
That holds like fresh water or whatever.
Distilled water or whatever.
And we went to the creek, filled them up, and we had a 5-gallon bucket that then pumped into the propane heater and had hot showers every night.
Oh, that's awesome. That's clutch. So was it
Bro.
cold when y'all were there?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
They didn't think it was because Best Top, like as a sponsor, they brought everybody beach towels to go play in the water. And then it was like
20 degrees.
yeah, I was like, no. I still have those 2 towels.
For real?
Yeah.
So Moab.
I love Moab. I want to go back because there's some trails I still haven't done. Some badges I still haven't done.
Did you do Pritchett Canyon while you were out there?
Yeah.
Was it as hard as you?
Yeah, I want to go back now because I did it on 37s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a big difference now.
Was I on 37s? I had to go back and look. I might have been on 40s, but I think I was on 37s.
When you were on 40s, you were on a Rusty's kit
Yeah.
then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we're a big provider of Rusty's, by the way.
So I can't remember if I was on 37s or 40s. I want to say I was on 37s, and everybody else, Scott was with me.
He was on 37s as well?
He was on 37s.
Okay.
He's done Pritchett.
Nice.
And then I had a guy behind me on 37 or 35, like 4-door on 35s and the 2-door on 35s.
Wow.
But we got them up at now. They winch 3 times, but
is what it is.
hey, full
That's
send.
why you have a winch.
Full send.
Okay, so
But yeah, that's probably Moab. Moab is fun. There's there's nowhere that just says like,
gotta go.
I've got to go. I'll start looking through pictures and be like, man, that looks like a cool place,
Yeah.
but it's not like
I gotta go.
it's not like yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Not saying that I've been everywhere. It's just there's a particular terrain, I guess, or wheeling that I like.
So when you were in Texas, I was watching the video that dropped, a couple days ago or whatever it was. The rocks out there seem to have a lot more grip.
Yeah,
than
it's
the ones
weird.
here.
It's weird.
Almost like moon rock. Like, they were
Yeah, and it's not
really
even
weird.
like it. It's almost like Moab, but it's different too. It's straight up sandpaper.
Really.
Yeah,
Like you can hear it on the tires.
Yeah, like don't drop to a knee type thing.
Oh,
like,
wow, really?
yeah,
Eat your pants up.
yeah, type thing. But it's cool.
All right, so we talked about the destinations. We'll talk about your Jeep a little bit. So now your current setup.
Yeah.
Tell everybody what you've done to your Jeep. Like, give them a little bit of the build sheet there.
So build sheet, it's man, where do I even start?
Well, you're still running the stock 3.8.
I am still running stock 3.8 stock transmission.
Still running a sport case.
Correct, which
is shocking to most
and very controversial.
Yeah.
If this is going to be super, unless I went to an Atlas, that's
Okay.
the only way.
That you'd go to a lower.
Do a lower gear ratio.
Yeah. So he's not a fan of the Rubicon cases. What he's talking about.
I am not a fan of Ruby cases.
Yeah.
Not the fact that they, they're just as strong. They're stronger or whatever. I have learned how to wheel.
There it is.
The sport case that when I get into a 4-to-1, I'm just like, this is too slow.
Yeah. And I think some of that comes from your ability to go over terrain at speed with the ORIs. So
I can cheat now.
Yeah, so 3.8 stock transfer
Yeah,
case.
so
what
it's,
axles are you running?
2005 Super Duty axles.
Dana 60 up front.
Yeah, Sterling in the rear, which they said it couldn't be done. It can, because everybody goes 14 bolt, but that's a massive boat anchor.
Yeah,
and
hangs down way.
Yeah,
too low,
unless
too.
you have like some Super V8 and you're worried about, because like the bouncers and stuff.
Yeah.
Worry about the pinion and things of that nature. 3.8 ain't gonna be.
Yeah, that's not its problem.
That's not its problem.
Yeah.
So we went with the Sterling. I wanted a matching set. Got that. Running 538s. Factory Ford locker in the rear.
Okay.
Or Ford's factory style.
E-locker, yeah.
Front is an aux locker. When the Ford goes out, I'll go aux again in the rear. I'm a big fan of aux lockers.
Me too, by the way.
Yeah, they're super simple.
I think the proprietary ability to still lock it if you have a malfunction is a big deal.
And being able to pick between air, manual, or electric.
Electric, yeah. So
really 4 because you have a manual lockout.
Yeah. So I like e-lockers. I'm a big fan of e-lockers. I've seen so many horror stories with ARB. I'm just not an air person.
Yeah.
But now with aux being different, I could see me going.
Yeah, because
to
when I say air locker aux, people are like, "Oh, it's
What?
ARB,"
Exactly.
and they worry about it. It's completely different.
So there's nothing wrong with an ARB, and there's a bunch of people who run them, but
Okay. It's
The
not
issue-
it's the problem is it's not ARB.
It's the design.
Well, I don't even know if it's the design.
So tell the people exactly what the issue is with ARB. I think they'll. This may be a little controversial to them, but I know what you're going to say. So
You think?
Tell them. Yeah.
It's the person who's setting it up.
Boom. Yeah.
and it's the quality control behind their airline, how they're cutting their airlines, how they're placing the tubing inside
The housing.
And
And
are they paying attention when they're putting the O-rings,
O-rings,
in
yeah,
and
there you go.
stuff? Are they doing the right things when they first set it up? Because the problem is you don't hear anybody having a problem when they first set it up.
It's after.
It's after on the trail.
Yeah. Yeah, so the O-ring doesn't get lubed, doesn't get put in properly, gets pinched, and then that is the
Or
only
airlines, messed
Exactly.
up, this, that, and the
Yeah.
other.
Rubs the ring gear.
Or you have the Jeep that we currently have, and they want to put the ARB outside where all the
In
rain
the
can get
rain.
it in.
Yeah, that was a great decision.
Or
by
we
the way.
don't even tighten up the airlines. Like, that's a great, too. But, hey,
It's okay.
locker
We'll
work.
fix
Yeah.
All right, so you got axles. What drive shafts?
Adams.
1350s or
No, they're bigger.
1410s?
Yeah,
1420s.
1450s.
14.
I can't remember. I want to say they're 1410s.
Okay.
I could be wrong on that. I'd have to go back and look at the invoice where I bought them.
Yeah, right. So did a complete body off.
Restoration, basically.
Yeah, so pulled the body, left the engine trans in. No, so it was naked frame.
Oh, yeah. Completely naked frame. I had the motor on a crate. And, it had motor,
Trans.
a trans and transfer case on a crate. And then I put the body on the welding table out there, the shop table out there, and wheeled it off to the side and started chopping up the frame.
Yeah. Okay, so
So I did all that. We went with Genrite at the time. I did a lot of research on long arm kits. I knew I wanted a flat belly because that was the biggest problem with the JK or the 4-door in general.
yeah.
Is because they are so long, the lower control arms, if you don't move the gas tank, it is very hard to get the same ground clearance. And I want a triangulated
Okay.
rear. So it's a triangulated rear.
And just to clear it up, your gas tank is not inside your rig.
No, it's not.
It's still in
It's underneath. It's between the frame rails in the rear and
Also with the Genrite.
tank.
Okay.
And then it's just a factory fuel pump. Nothing special about that. And then just all hoses that go basically that basically go to the factory fuel
Locations.
lines that come off the motor. But and then we have the towers in the rear, towers in the front.
So when you say towers, for those of you that
Coilover towers.
Yeah, so
But
exactly.
But I'm running ORIs. So same thing. If you're going to put a tower in, they will usually market them as coilover towers, but they're the same. An ORI will fit in the same spot, basically same diameter.
So you
or
had
close.
in the front and or the rear, did you have to cut the frame to fit those towers in?
Yeah. So the rear, you weld in a bracket like a truss system, put a whole new truss in it, and then you literally take a Sawzall to the frame and cut it in half, and take probably
10, 12 inches.
10 to 12 inches out of your frame, and it's like point of no return.
Yeah. Here we are.
Yeah, so we did that.
What's up front? Same thing?
Triangulated the rear. I built all my own control arms, so the only Genrite stuff was just bracketry. But all of the control arm mounts on the axles were all custom. So I might have bought a bracket, but
Had to modify it.
I had to modify everything because they built theirs off of the Curry axles and not off of just like a junkyard axle or anything like that. And so I basically they said it might work. They didn't even know if it would work. They said they told me that it wouldn't work.
Wow.
They were like, you're going to have difficult problems.
So underneath to make the flat belly happen, was that custom too, or is that something you bought?
That was Genrite. And so the cross member, they basically say, here, you cut here, you weld here. Everything lines up, but mounting the transmission and all that to the cross member they built this kit off of the 3.6.
Ooh.
And an LS platform. Like, it's kind of both.
Yeah.
So
Because they're close in length. They're
yeah,
not too
now
far,
they have a 3.8 bracket.
but it's not right.
Well, I mean, it's not that it's not right. It's just
Needed some
there's a
custom
lot.
work.
There's a lot more custom fab in it than you think there is. But we got it all mounted. That cross member, you have to mount the transmission on that. It tucks it up pretty good bit from factory. So, I mean, your transmission is really close to the tub.
Yeah, right up under the floor.
But one thing I did do...
did you have to modify the tub at all in that area? Okay. So there's room.
Yeah, there's room. The one thing that I did, though, that was, I think, a huge benefit and will be a benefit into the future is while the motor, trans, and transfer case was on the pallet, I bought all new wire loom and tape and everything, and I cut every stitch of loom, factory loom and tape off of it.
Oh, and
went in there with
harness.
a small cutter and just would hours. And I did the entire motor, transmission, transfer case, all the sensors, everything. So, most of that stuff gets hot, brittle, falls apart.
Yeah.
And so I wanted it to last another, 20 years. So
right.
I did that with a nice fancy tape, not the cheap tape.
Dollar store tape.
Yeah, exactly. So I did that. And then we were putting it all back together. It really wasn't that bad. I did take a lot of pictures.
Yeah.
And once you start putting in the wiring harness, I mean, I will say Jeep did a really good job as far as you start to figure out okay, this connector can only go to this connector.
Yeah, right. It only fits here.
It only fits here.
Yeah. So what, factory radiator?
Yeah, everything's factory.
What about your steering? What steering you running?
It's factory it's factory until you get to the steering box.
Okay.
So it's a PSC big bore kit. Going to a Hydro Assist RAM. I did have to go from, I think it's the 7-inch RAM to an 8 because of the 1 tons. I think you could almost run a bigger one than that.
Really?
I think you could.
Are you running stock knuckles off the Dana 60?
Yeah, I did. I couldn't afford the Reed knuckles at the time, or some custom knuckle.
Mm-hmm.
So we did the RTEC. So it's RTEC trusses front and rear.
Yeah.
And then we did the RTEC trusses on the knuckles. We did factory ball joints, just forward ball joints at right off the get go because it was cheaper.
Factory unit bearings too?
Yeah, everything.
Okay.
And so, no, I changed the U joints out.
Okay, but did you change?
Bearings? The unit bearings, front and the hubs. We changed out
2005 F-250.
Yeah, I went to AutoZone or O'Reilly's and said, hey, I need all new.
Which is the benefit to doing a junkyard axle swap.
Yeah, you just go to the store.
Yeah.
So did all that, new unit bearings, and I did change out the U joints in the steering.
So you mentioned
the factory ones are not that great.
You said that you built your control arms.
Mm-hmm.
Did you also build your steering arms as well?
All the steering is built by me using Rusty's builder parts. So I bought the tubing from him at the time before we had a vendor for that. And I still get all my Heims from Rusty.
And that's another thing I was going to ask too. You're running all Heims everywhere.
Yeah, Heims everywhere. And then the steering is Heims going to those RTEC knuckles, the weld-on knuckles. And then it's just the RAM that goes to it. Now, I have adjusted it since I went to the ORIs. It's more of it's a high steer hybrid type thing,
custom.
It's a custom bracket because of how much droop I have with the ORIs.
All right, so we're going to kind of dodge the elephant in the room. We'll talk about some more stuff. Cage is obviously not factory. Cage is also.
But if you look at my Jeep with a picture, with the top on it.
So was the goal?
That was
from
my
the beginning to make it look like a. And
I wanted it to look
full body Jeep with a top
that looked like it looked. I know it does. I know stock is a very far from at this point.
As close,
but
to
I
possible.
want it to look. If you saw it, somebody was like, "Oh, that's just a normal Jeep."
Yeah, it's just a lifted Jeep.
Yeah, with big tires. That's it.
So what's the cage?
So it's a Generite cage.
Prefab cage. You had to weld it all together.
Yeah. You just get a
pallet.
A pallet full of bar.
Bent tube.
and did all that, and that literally we put it together in 3 days.
Wow. So there was a story about this as well, about you building this Jeep in what was it, like 3 months or something?
Yeah, it was something crazy, but no joke. So they came out with they had version 1 of the cage. And if you go back to Jen Wright's page, version 1 had like the A-pillar was different and some other things. Well, they dropped like version 2 like as soon as I ordered all this stuff. And so I was like, hey, don't ship the version 1. And they were like, well, it's going to be more money. I was like, I don't care.
Yeah,
I like
want the V2.
I want the V2.
Yeah.
Solely because of the looks.
Yeah.
Like there's a big look difference. And they were like, well, it's not like even in production yet. And I was like, okay. So like we're crunch time.
Yeah, yeah.
And so we're ready to go to Florida Jeep. Like we're unveiling this Jeep at Florida Jeep Jam. And I got the cage in finally. I got number 20 out of the first 100.
Wow.
Mine's number 20. I've got the sticker.
Yeah, the serial number.
Yeah, so mine's literally like they made it and I got it.
Nice.
So came in. I had a buddy, like a family friend, come over, and we kind of pieced it together. So we started on the driver's side, went all the way back, like A, B, C, D, basically.
And you did do a B-pillar chop on this one, right?
B-pillar chop.
Yeah.
But we did the whole cage and in one day, basically,
Wow.
or a day and a half. Got it all tacked together, and then I welded it in the Jeep as much as I could. And then the next day, I pulled it out. I finished all of the welding, spray painted it. Next day,
Install.
It needs to be painted again, but it is what it is. But we just had to get it in there.
Yeah.
And I was telling him the other day, I said that cage right now could come out within 30 minutes or less. And the cool thing is when we were putting it in, I would say I'm a lot better fabricator. Yeah. After all of that,
learning curve.
A learning curve. And the biggest thing with cages is because you're heating up that material and it's cooling and heating up, cooling,
expanding contract.
It's moving. It warps so bad. But literally, we got all the bolts in except for 3 on the one that goes back to the
C post.
C post. And literally, it took a screwdriver or alignment tool, and I'm talking about less than a quarter, like super easy. Like I didn't even have to try.
Yeah, that's not normal, by the way. Just for anybody's not welded, I'm just telling you, metal moves when you weld it. I don't care what anybody tells you. So.
Yeah, it was a lot of go opposite ends of the cage to weld.
Let it cool.
And not doing massive long runs.
Yeah.
Don't try to weld
all the way
half
around
the tube.
Yeah.
Basically cut the tube into quarters.
Yeah.
And weld it, and hey, if it goes to pizza, right? But I did 4 corners of the tube and hey, you're gonna weld this one section
and then go away.
Because the thing is, you're not gonna be able to get a good beat unless you've really good fabricator. And I'm good, but I'm not doing it. I haven't been doing it for 30 years or whatever.
Right.
Where that's all you do is weld, but you're not gonna be able to do the full half moon all the way around and dip, duck, and dive underneath all these tubes and get one good beat all the way around. Yeah. So I was like, I'm just going to cut it into 4s and I'll just
do what I can.
Yeah. I would say the welds look pretty good.
Yeah, they do look good. So that covers the inside. So what's in the inside? What seats you in?
PRP, custom, and what I mean by custom is, fabrics, things of that nature. It's not just an off-the-shelf one. We did put our logos in it. In the back, they're the full containment. I think it's the trail. There's so many 4 different.
Yeah,
I think I've got a
chart.
I can't even read it from here. But it's max containment, so it's got the high bolsters.
Yeah,
and it's got the I call it the love handle.
Yeah, rib protectors.
Rib protectors. But I like it because of the B-pillar chop. When you do kind of lean out, it kind of holds your body there.
Yeah.
We do have the 3-inch harnesses. That's, if you go for 2-inch, 3-inch, personal preference.
Yeah.
Mine's a 5-point converted to a 4-point.
That.
We can talk about that later.
Oh, yeah.
That's another whole topic for discussion. And then we have we had thought about doing the, captain chairs basically in the back.
Yeah.
But we did a full bench.
Which I like. I like that you kept it that way. I think it looks cleaner that way.
Yeah. The only bad thing is you can't like recline it like the factory. And then in the rear, we've got, we still got to redo that, but we have like Milwaukee pack outs and that holds all kind of crap. Yeah. So this kitchen sink.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say too. So, what do you think it weighs?
It weighs, I've weighed it. It's
trail ready.
It's above 6,500.
Yeah.
It's probably closer to 67.
But under 7.
It's under 7, yeah.
That's
it might be in that 6,700 to 6,800 pounds or so, but I think it's probably close because I have trimmed some fat.
Yeah.
AKA tools.
Yeah.
Like, why do you need 4
impacts?
Yeah. No, like 4 needle nose pliers, like 1 or 2, so I really have trimmed on that. I don't bring near as much as I used to, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
I've kind of started leaving a lot of it, like in truck or trailer, stuff like that, because most of the places, unless you're like, gone for days, or something.
Or one-way trips.
Yeah, one-way trip. Something like that. Somebody's going to be able to get back to the trailer.
To the rig, yeah. So what wheel and tire you
got? KMC's, Machetes, 17 by 9. And then I've got the Mickey Thompson Baja Bosses with a 40 by 13.5.
Like those? I know
I love them.
Yeah.
I'm a big Mickey Thompson fan. They're not stickies. Everybody thinks they are. They're not.
Really? I didn't know that either, honestly.
You didn't? They're not. They're DOT tires.
Wow. They do a really great job. I watched him climb a section. We had a Jeep competition that we did, and I watched him go up a rock section that he didn't even spin a tire. So that's what I kind of thought. A little bit those are stickies.
Yeah, they're not. I want to go to a sticky.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, clarify. Mm-hmm. It is not a custom tube chassis.
No, it is not.
Okay.
It's got the full frame under it besides all of like
the French
10, 12 inches. But I mean, that doesn't even count because it's
and it is a legitimate VIN number full body rig.
Yeah.
Okay. Tag and insured.
Yeah,
technically.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything about it is legit. And that's how I wanted it.
Yeah.
There is a lot
some of the stuff that you go out west, like you're talking about. Well, about talking about your Jeep, but when you go out west, sometimes when you're in Moab and stuff like that, you have pavement drives for 20, 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Know what I'm saying? So, not that I don't know that they would care if you're in a custom rig, but technically you're still legal being on the road.
Oh, yeah. And that's what I wanted, to be able to drive wherever, because I think it was a couple years ago. I don't know where I was there. No, I wasn't. But I was on tons. So I was on tons already, and we drove we got there the day before, but we didn't know the park was closed. And we were like, well, what are we going to do all day?
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to sit here.
Yeah.
So we did like a 100-mile overland trip for the day, like going seeing fire towers and going down these like what we would
roads.
Yeah, fire break roads and stuff like that, and did a 100-mile loop.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Just off road.
In that Jeep.
Yeah, just off road.
That's cool. So the elephant in the room, the ORIs.
Yeah.
What size are you running?
So fronts are 14s. I've mentioned this to a ton of people. We still have some modifications to do on the brackets on the front, but I mean it performs well. So it's one of those things where when I have time to fix it, I'll fix it. I know what I need to do to fix it, but it's not preventing me from wheeling, and it's not hindering the Jeep in any way. Yeah, the performance. It's just I think it could be better.
Yeah.
It's more of a personal
I think
thing.
I think every Jeep, especially guys who wheel, I think that's always the benchmark, right? Like that's why you went from this to this to this.
And I had to set it up that way in order to kind of get it out the door. Was it shortcutted? No. I just over wheeling and under and the brackets, and especially now that we have our own
the way the suspension works.
We have our own CNC machine where we can cut our own brackets. Yeah. Because literally at that point I was buying brackets
online.
Yeah, and hoping they would work, or are they this long?
Modify them or something. Yeah.
So like I said, the fronts are 14s, the rears are 16s. Perfect as far as like height. I don't think I went up too much from the 5 3/4 inch lift I had.
Yeah. It's the travel for me. So the first time I ever saw his Jeep in the shop, we were working on it, and it was on the lift, and it actually sits pretty, like you said, pretty normal. What you would think a
Tall, lifted Jeep,
40-inch tire Jeep would sit, but when we lifted it up, like I'm 6'1", and the hood is even with my head, and the tires are still on the ground. That blew me away. Like I was thinking, oh my God, how do you get that?
Which goes back, we're talking about earlier about East and West Coast wheeling. I built this as an East Coast rig. Because, I mean, this is where I'm at 90% of the time. Yeah. And so, like, it does not have a lot of up travel. You look at the front, and that's why we want to change some of the brackets on the front suspension. Yeah. I want to gain another inch and a half of up travel. More would be great, but, you know, whatever. I would say it sits very level. Like, when you droop it fully out, the wheels are level.
Yeah.
All the way down. But I set it up for down travel.
Yeah.
Because out here...
That's what's important.
That's what's important. You're not going fast at all.
Yeah.
Because there's a tree in the way.
Every time.
Yeah, every time. Yeah, we found that out in the competition.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I set mine up for down travel, you know, and a lot of guys out west are going to want both. They want up travel.
Right in the middle.
They want right in the middle, and they want enough to where when they're going through the whoops and stuff like that, that it's soaking it up and stuff like that. But when you're rock crawling, yeah, you want some up travel because it's going to have some give and stuff like that. But I want the down travel if I'm solely rock crawling.
So, is there anything I can tell by how you've wheeled it and what we've talked about that you would never change the ORI setup? But is there anything on your Jeep that you look back now that you think, maybe I'll do something a little different there, other than just? I know you've mentioned minor stuff, but is there anything across the board major that you could say, man, God, I wish I'd have done that different?
Is money a question?
No. Let's say you got a blank check.
Oh,
and we're gonna.
Do I want to say this? Because I think you know where I'm going with it. Do I need to pick something else? Because it might actually happen.
No, I think I know where you're gonna go with this, and I'm not saying that it can't happen.
Oh no, it's probably going to happen if I ever find the money for it.
Yeah, I think I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah,
but I think you get away from I guess what you consider
a streetable rig.
Yeah. Well, no, I still think it's technically streetable because technically you can have a lockout on it. But
that's the clue, guys.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, if you know, you know.
Yeah. I would like to see this happen on this rig just because I think it'd be super cool, and I've never actually helped build one, so I'd like to do it. But
I'll pick something else. We'll leave that for another episode.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, actually.
But if there was something like on it that's like reasonable, because I wouldn't say that's like not normal.
You're still running stock dash and everything. Like, would you want to build a custom dash in it?
That is a question for the ages, for real, because I've gone back and forth about wanting to do a motor swap on that thing over and over and over again. You know, LS.
Yeah.
And to me, the 3.8 has just worked.
Yeah. So why not keep it?
it? If I went to an LS, I would swap to an aluminum dash.
Yeah.
But as long as I have the 3.8 and I don't see myself going away from it, and I know that's like a shocker.
Well, that was the next question I was going to ask you today. If it blows up tomorrow,
I'm putting a 3.8 back in it.
Okay.
I know that's controversial.
Well, I know a lot of people that have had the 3.8 for a long time, and most of them have the same sentiment. Take care of it, and
it will take care of you.
Yeah, do the maintenance properly.
Because how many people have you heard of? Now, so here's another thing, and I think it needs to be talked about, is everybody wants to do an LS or Hemi swap, right?
Of course.
Here's the problem.
Well, I don't. I want to do a Coyote swap.
Yeah.
We're just out there.
So Hemi is heavy, and there's pros and cons to both. The problem, or the good thing with the Hemi is that it works on the CAN bus system.
Yeah, exactly what I was going to say. The wiring helps.
The wiring. So if you don't know wiring, and basically think about it in one world of like Android and Apple.
Yeah.
Like they don't talk.
No.
So think of like Dodge, you know, or Ram and Jeep. They talk because it's all Mopar.
Yeah.
Versus Chevrolet LS. Talking to a Jeep, it doesn't work.
Yeah, so LSs are standalone ECUs, tunable completely by themselves. All it really needs power to the system, and their ECU works.
Yeah.
A CAN bus system, the easiest way to describe a CAN bus system is literally this: every single electrical component that is in your Jeep is tied to the CAN bus system. Everything from your washer fluid indicator to your body control manager.
Yeah, it's a pain in the butt.
It's all together. So if you remove one of those components, you cause a problem. It freaks out. It doesn't like it. So you can imagine if you remove the engine harness from a CAN bus system to put in a new one that is completely different. Like they always talk about Camaro fans, like they're the same CFM as the fans that we run on the 3.6s. So they're very, very high, but they're pulse width. That's why you can run them. The problem with it is Jeep did theirs ground pulse and Chevrolet did theirs as positive pulse. So you can run it, but you have to flip it over. So that's the whole big world of what he's talking about.
Yeah. So if you went with, the Hemi, it integrates. The LS, yes, there are companies out there that have figured it out.
Yeah. Painless is probably the best one out there.
Yeah. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
And I have seen them all, and I have seen them where they work, and I have seen them where they don't. And that doesn't matter what company you want to pick on whatever kit you want to pick. But, they have overheating issues. They have, you name a problem.
Oh, yeah.
If there's a problem with a 3.8, there's a problem with an LS.
Oh, 100%, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if anybody knows this or not, but if it's mechanical, it's going to tear up.
Yeah, it's going to. And so with that being said, you basically inherit a whole nother line of problems.
Yeah.
And so if I were to go with an LS system, it's going to be standalone, and I'm not going to try to integrate. There has just been too many. You're too wishy-washy on trying to make everything talk. And like I said, all for the people who want to integrate it and all for the companies that do it.
Yeah, right. Like, if that's your choice, go for it.
That's your choice, go for it. But in my, like you're talking about my vehicle, if I'm doing an LS, it's
your preference.
Yeah, I'm standalone and I'm doing an aluminum dash.
Yeah. See, that's the way I would go too. I think I would just say, I got the Jeep body, right? And I'm doing the LS, so I'm just going to do custom. That way I know it's just with that engine.
Yeah.
I get that. Yeah, 100% true. So that's pretty much your Jeep in a nutshell.
Yeah, we're gonna see about your Jeep here in a week or so.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about that. I'm not gonna lie. So you're running Rusty's front and rear bumpers?
Yeah, Rusty's front and rear, even the quarter armor or the rocker armor, and then the rock rails. Are still all Rusty's.
Yeah, okay. And your corner armar, is that
that's moto built?
That's moto built.
The rear corner armor is moto built.
Okay, and then winch is
Warren.
Yeah. So are you?
That's the original Warren winch I put on it from like the first bumper I ever got.
Okay, so are you? No disrespect. Are you a Warren fanboy, or does it matter?
It used to be.
Yeah.
I used to want to, like, if it wasn't a Warren, I didn't want it.
Yeah.
I have seen some winches out there that are very surprising.
So
for the cost.
Yeah, my dad is a Warren guy. The old 74. Like, he would not have a winch if it was not Warren.
And we need it. This is a whole nother like podcast. We could talk about like winches like in recovery
exclusively. Yeah.
In a whole podcast. I used to be like, if it ain't a Warren, don't put it on your Jeep type thing. Yeah. I've kind of since faded from that. One, because I've used them.
Yeah.
This other brand that we'll talk about in another podcast.
Yeah.
But very surprising.
That's another I guess growing portion of the business. Off-road recovery.
Yeah.
So it's not something that we do all the time, but it is offered.
Like you're calling me when there ain't nobody else.
Yeah, like it's a
like you're calling your insurance company.
Yeah. Well, if you can get it to the pavement, the rollback will take it from there.
Yeah, like we go when the rollback won't.
Exactly. Yeah, when it's definitely an off-road situation, or hey, we can't get it home, or hey, I don't know enough people to get it home.
Or I don't have the tools to fix it in the woods.
And that's another, like you said, that's another podcast of off-road recovery that, offer classes and stuff like that. So that's another.
It's a whole nother venture. But yeah, I'm not super picky on winches. Like I said, I still think Warren is kind of like your staple.
Yeah.
As far as winch line speed, going into the weeds of it, and we can go more into the weeds of that on the other podcast. But I still think that's kind of like your standard, and then everybody's trying to keep up and match that.
That's the bar.
But as far as reliability and kind of the quality, I think they're starting to all get the same.
Yeah.
Because of where technology has come to at this point, especially post-COVID.
Yeah, so I've been researching a company called Carbon Off-Road. They're an Australian-based company. They kind of an off-road, kind of like an ARB, but they literally pretty much got their business started to try to compete with Warren. That's what they said. They wanted to have faster line speed.
I need to
they wanted
look into that. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, they're pretty legit from what I've seen so far. There's a couple of YouTubers out there that I watch that they're starting to get sponsored and run them.
Yeah.
But longevity, that's kind of what I've been concerned with. Like, they're not out there. How long is it going to last?
And that was my thing, is I was not a big fan of these winches that we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
But using it in a recovery situation and actually, like, basically, put his time in, like
torture test.
Yeah, torture test.
Yeah.
And so, going that route. But yeah, I think that's, I used to run like light bars and stuff. I need to put my rock lights back on it.
Yeah, you do.
I just have KC Cyclones. But just recently we've put KC Cyclones inside for our interior lighting because we got.
Oh, yeah, that's bad, by the way. I love that. I think Scott's got that in his Jeep too, right? Dude,
it's like putting the sun in there.
Yeah, it's amazing. So that's another thing too. Infinite Off-Road, we're a dealer for them. They're a really good lighting company. KC is obviously a major player in the lighting one. Yeah, Baja Designs is a big one. So yeah, it's more than just a garage at this point. It's pretty much a walking Jeep store. You can pretty much get it if you can find it. We can get it.
Oh, absolutely. And we're going to tell you the pros and cons. Like, I'm not paid by any brand, which I don't ever plan to be. I know, sponsorships and some.
Oh, those are great if you can get them.
Yeah, free stuff is great. And stuff like that.
Hashtag Race Jeep.
Yeah, hashtag Race Jeep, which is a whole nother podcast.
Yeah, that's the next one.
So, yeah, sponsorships are great, but I don't want it to ever be where I can't say, hey, this product sucks.
Yeah, you don't want to be bought by somebody that you can't.
No, I have been around. I won't name names. I've been around some people that are bought with whether a tire brand or this, that, and the other, and they're like, behind closed doors, they're like, man, this sucks.
Yeah, don't do this, please.
Yeah, and where you're like, you're kidding me, right?
Yeah, I've watched you implement this and
talk about it,
yeah.
And it's like it's like a two-face, like don't do one thing in front of everybody and then one thing behind everybody's back. Like,
yeah, it's very misleading because people are buying you in that product as well.
Oh yeah,
which is another component of what you've said about this is
which has been a problem with YouTube,
of course. I think across the board.
Yeah, social media in general.
Yeah, across the board.
But yeah, I'm trying to think what else we've done So I ran an S-Pod for years. Mm-hmm. That was before S-Pod. S-Pod back 5+ years ago, easily.
Yeah, easy.
Was really the only reputable. It was
the only one at the time.
You didn't really have Amazon really wasn't a thing.
No.
It was there, but it wasn't
not for that particular product.
Yeah. You didn't have all these other brands out there. So that was it. Like, if you wanted a switch panel that worked, because Amazon was hit or miss.
Yeah, and I would tell you that they didn't have anything that was really purposed for that. It was more of
universal
golf carts and stuff like that. It wasn't really. S-Pod was systematically developed for the off-road community.
Yeah, and so we had an S-Pod in it, an 8-switch S-Pod that we ran out of switches quick.
Surprise.
Yeah, for me, because I put everything on a switch. So we had thought about going with other brands.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, the time I bought a whole nother one, two
system
of whatever, because I wanted them to match.
Of course.
I put another S-Pod in. We were running an aluminum. The company is, I don't think, even in business anymore, that makes that center console. So we have an aluminum center console. And it basically takes the glove box out that you don't ever use anyway. Well, I didn't.
Yeah.
But we mounted an S-Pod.
You're talking about under the console, right?
Under the console.
Yeah.
We mounted an S-Pod, the actual switch, the bank of wires and all that. We mounted that under there and then ran everything to the battery.
Yeah.
Very clean, you don't see anything.
Unlike mine.
So we were running 2 S-Pods, 2 8 switches. The first one that is closer to the driver, we really need to do a walk around, like actual video.
Yeah, I think that's true.
But the first one has like the air compressor was the first one, I think. Then you have front and rear locker, and then the first one is everything that's outside of the Jeep.
Okay.
So like if you've got a chase bar on there, so like racing or like dusty conditions, chase bar,
nighttime conditions,
my A-pillar lights, stuff like that,
interior lights,
and then because I'm not running, we'll talk about those later. But the lights I'm running now, the headlights I'm running now.
Yeah, wow, yeah, I forgot about those. Yeah.
So those take up 3 switches.
Oh wow! Oh, because you have amber, high, low.
I have amber, high, and low.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I could take the amber off, but it's cool. So whatever. It's not like I needed that switch.
Exactly.
It was more of like, hey, there's an extra one out of the 16 I have.
Yeah.
And then the other one is solely interior. And what I mean by that is you've got,
spoiler alert, it's not Baja Designs.
Yeah. You've got front and rear interior lights.
Yep.
You have switches for Caitlin and I's heated and cooled PRP seats. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say when we were talking about custom earlier.
Yeah, they are bougie.
Yeah. But nothing beats.
I'll say, was it worth it? Like, we thought, man, we regretted this. But even though it's not like I have a Ford truck, it's a nice Ford truck, and it's got cool seats in it.
Yeah.
That is a lot cooler.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this, those cool seats are pretty nice.
Yeah. So the first time we wheeled in it, it was May-ish, maybe. Hot.
Yeah, it was hot.
And like I was pouring sweat because we had the top.
Yeah.
He's got half doors.
Yeah.
So we had the tops off the doors. And even with the air on, I was just miserable. And he looks over and he goes, "Oh, I know why you're miserable." And I said, "Why? Because it's hot?" And he's like, "No, because you don't have your cooling seat on." And I was like, "You have a what?" Push the button. So he pushes the button. And like he said, it's not like, don't think full on air condition, but think
it's like a cooling pad.
Yeah, it recirculates the air. That it is way cooler than
it's just a pad that it's like it's weird. It's like it's all electrical.
Yeah.
But and then there's a fan in the back and that
pushes air through it.
That pushes air through the back.
Nice.
But the thing is, it's like you just don't have swamp butt. Like
that's basically such a game changer. Such a game.
Like you're still hot, you're still sweating, but it's not like when you get out of the Jeep, you're not like having to like pick your pants off of yourself.
It just feels like everything's stuck to you.
Yeah, you don't have that feeling.
Oh, you got Sonny's fans too.
Yeah, so I have Sonny is in a car seat in the back, and then he has 2 fans.
Who, by the way, has been on 99% of all these trips he's talked about going on. Sonny's in there with him.
Yeah, and loving it. He's either sleeping, eating,
or smiling.
Yeah. So he has 2 fans. They're on one switch though, and then you can turn them on and off at the actual fan.
Yeah. And you have a harness bar for front and rear.
Yeah.
In your cage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
and it's all set up. So I mean, you could take the car seat out.
So most cages negate one of those. They normally have just a bar for the front.
Yeah.
And the rear bar is non-existent.
Yeah.
So.
Now we didn't do the X bar. Genrite was they're very honest about this. They want you to run the X in the back.
Mm-hmm.
I chose not to because it's an option. I chose not to solely because I wanted room.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. And I was like, well, maybe I'll do the top X, and just negate the bottom because the bottom is like where your knees are at.
Yeah, which would hurt.
Which would hurt.
Yeah.
But I was like, if I put the top one in there, then I can't reach back for Sonny.
Yeah.
Because there's a big bar in the way. Like it's just a pain.
Yeah. Which I really don't feel like you need it. I feel like Genrite probably did a pretty good job of kind of a 2-to-1 factor.
It's a lot better than the factory.
Oh, it's daylight and dark. If you've ever seen a Genrite cage compared to a factory cage, like the Rock Hard is probably what I'll put in my 2-door.
Yeah.
And it's substantially better than factory. But the Genrite cage it's still 3-to-1 better than that.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of extra tube in there.
Yeah.
For support. So I would tell you that I feel like you don't have to have that either.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else is on that front. Going even more bougie. We'll go more bougie. So it was an Amazon purchase or whatever, but I did put a USB-C, like it's got one of each, power port.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And the center console, because like
I know
early. Oh yeah, you know exactly where I'm going with this. But yeah, we did that, and then even more bougie.
Yes. Please talk about what I think you're going to talk about.
We have Starlink.
Yeah.
And it's a game changer.
In the Jeep.
So we actually were in a trip in that last video that came out in Llano. We did. It was in the middle of it's not a canyon, but like middle of
it is kind of a canyon when you go down the lower side.
Kind of.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just a big open. Like there isn't a
Texas.
Yeah, there is not a cell tower anywhere.
Yeah, you were texting me during that trip.
Yeah,
like you were texting me pictures and videos.
Texting pictures. I'm checking Facebook. I'm getting emails. And the cool thing is, like, everybody in my Jeep, like Caitlin and I, and our iPad, which we took our radio out and we run solely an iPad. Mm-hmm. And then we have a turtle box that we can take in and out. We thought about doing like an actual like speaker sound bar or whatever, but we just have a turtle box in there.
If you don't have one of those, by the way, folks, turtle boxes are amazing.
I know they're expensive, but they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
But we did that because we were like, we can play it in the Jeep.
Yeah.
And I don't use a lot of music when I'm wheeling. It's more like to or from the trail. But then if you're camping or you're hanging out or whatever, you can take that turtle box out of your Jeep and it's still good and it's not running on your Jeep power.
Yeah.
So we have that Starlink, but the cool thing was like there was two other Jeeps that was behind us
they could
in
still
front
get
of
signal.
it, and they were still getting signal off our Starlink, and we're able to check emails and do like work stuff.
Yeah, and keep in touch with family. I mean, that's probably the biggest thing.
And we'd never not had it. Didn't have internet.
And well, see, that's the other thing too. I think a lot of people don't think about even at like Morris Mountain, here locally. And some places in Talladega National Forest,
there's one or two places in Stony
that you don't have service.
Yeah,
and if something happens, you don't think about it at the time because I didn't. But if something happens, you're not getting in touch with people.
Well, when we went to Texas, it was before this last trip. We went out to Amarillo again to wheel in the Paladera Canyon at Maris Off-Road Park or whatever you want to call it. And we had just bought that Starlink to put in the Jeep, and we hadn't like set it up or anything like that, like literally in the package. We had brought it. We were like, we'll use it, but we were just running low on time and didn't get it placed, so we just left it in the truck at the thing. Well, we get down the bottom of the canyon, everything's going great, and then if you had watched I don't know if you watched that video or not, but the steering box
destroyed.
Yeah, sector shaft. Left the chat
completely.
And so luckily, the iPhone or whatever had satellite texting. So we were able to text somebody and kind of get some things going. But if we had Starlink, it'd have been instant. It'd have been perfect. Yeah. Like I could have FaceTimed somebody.
Yeah. So that's the biggest thing too. Now I know the older Androids don't, but the newer Androids now, like the iPhones, have the Wi-Fi calling. And so, I mean, you literally can call someone and say, hey, look, I'm here. I need your help. Or send them a pin.
Or, so that guy owns a shop. His name's Joe. He owns Amarillo Axle in Texas. And he had a shop about 45 minutes away. And he had a steering box, like an old JK, like we do.
Yeah, right.
We got an old JK steering box sitting out there. And he had one. I think it leaked a little bit, but it was better than what we had.
Yeah, it had a sector shaft.
It had a sector shaft that we didn't have. And so he had it, and he was able to get in touch with his wife, and we were able to go get it. But if we had Starlink, he was trying to tell her, hey, there's two boxes. One has a TJ in it.
Oh, and one's
a JK.
Oh, God.
And trying to tell her that, and this, that, and the versus I could have just FaceTimed her.
Yeah. Hey, that's not it. Go to that one.
Yeah, go to that one. Yeah.
So Starlink that has come in clutch a couple of times, even for stuff that we've done around here.
Yeah, Morris Mountain, you asked, hey, can you get...
I did. Yeah, so we were riding around and even during the competition, I was texting people and I was sending videos of what we were doing up there.
And it was going quick.
Yeah, I mean, it's super fast. It's almost instant.
It's a game changer.
I would tell you that in certain places, it's faster than data.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's definitely cool.
But we have Starlink at the shop, too, or at the house, and so at the shop, and so it's because we have DSL out here, which is ancient, in this damn, yeah, exactly, and so no fiber out where we live, and if we had fiber, I wouldn't have ever thought about it.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely not.
And so, but we bought Starlink for the house or the house, and then the shop, and I was such a fan of it that when they said, hey, the Mini works and it doesn't have you don't have to you basically set it up and it hits the satellite and then you basically can just drive, and it doesn't have to be like perfectly
spot on.
Yeah, and it just works. I was like, we're gonna give this a try. Like, it's worth it.
Oh, 100%.
And it has been.
So I will tell you
nice.
what I feel like is the most bougie, but I won't say most. I'll just say a bougie
Go
component
ahead.
that's in your Jeep that
Go
I
ahead.
absolutely love. It's the rugged radios for me.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So
There's so much in that Jeep.
yeah, right. So he runs
It's
rugged
like a box of
radios
chocolates.
that. I mean, a lot of people run rugged radios, and a lot of people run Midlands. I run Midland, but the radio that he's running, I'm not sure about which model it is. But
So it's the GMSR. It's the GMRS 45.
Okay.
I don't even know if they make that one anymore. I think they've upgraded it like
to different versions.
whatever number they came up with this time.
7022.
Yeah. But it's that. But the
ability to
so the
run-
it's the intercom.
yeah. So that's the key. This is where it gets kind of clutch for me. So being in a fab shop for 20 some odd years, I have tinnitus in both ears, so my ears ring. So
Yeah, talk about a fire truck.
yeah, exactly. So the ability to have a headset on and to be
Yeah.
able to hear things without the droning of all
Right.
the Jeep and everything else.
Yeah.
But in his Jeep, you have the ability to intercom with each other, and you don't have to touch a button. So we're talking just like we are right now. We can hear each other.
And
But
you
in
can have the radio.
That's what I was just fixing to say. But in the background, you can have the music playing, and then you key the mic, and it all goes away, and you can talk to other Jeeps, but I can still hear it. So I've asked a couple of times. That's what I'm going to try to get into my two-door for Christmas one year. Brandy, if you're watching. It's expensive, but it is 100% worth it.
It's bougie though.
Yeah, it's awesome,
It
though.
is one of those things where it's like you've done all the other upgrades, and it's like.
Why not?
So I had the GMRS forever. Like,
Yeah.
that's the original GMRS that I put in the Jeep.
Oh, okay.
Like, when I went
Yeah.
rugged, I knew I wanted rugged because I knew I wanted the intercom.
Yeah.
Like, down the road.
Yeah.
And that's the only company. It's the intercom is more for race situations, like race
Yeah.
stuff. I knew, seeing into the future,
Mhm.
I knew I
Yeah.
wanted
Crystal ball.
Yeah, crystal ball. I knew I wanted that, and so I was like, I want that, and I can't hear anything. If any of the guys at work, there were some of the guys at work, listened to the first season,
Oh, yeah.
and so if they hear this, they'll know. Yeah, he can't hear anything because
Yeah.
they're like talking to me, and they'll ask me a question, and they're
Huh?
like,
What?
yeah, like, hey Judd, I'm talking to you.
Oh,
Like,
okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I didn't miss
brother, you have to face me.
Yeah. It's almost like sign language at this
Yeah,
point.
yeah, it's bad. Yeah, exactly. And I was like, I want it. The biggest thing is, I know everybody likes taking their doors off and stuff like that, and I love it too, but my ears start to hurt so bad because of the wind noise. But I still wanted to enjoy that.
Of course.
And I like the half
It's part of the
doors.
Jeep.
Yeah, half doors, all of
Yeah.
that. And so the intercom was big. And when we went to the intercom, people think I might look dumb or whatever with the
Oh, man, I love it.
with the headset on.
I don't care.
With the headset on, in the parking lot. But brother, it is a game changer.
Well, the ability to not scream at the person in your Jeep for one when you're going somewhere. 40-inch tires make noise.
Oh, yeah.
A Jeep with Heims makes noise. Off road makes noise, and then you take the door tops off, and let's say you get the heater or the air conditioner running, and then you put a radio in there. I mean, that's a lot of stuff for you to not
Yeah.
communicate. So the ability to talk to the passenger is very, very intuitive. It feels really comfortable. But then, it's a mic click, and you can talk to everybody else too. So
Now we did make it to where there is a amplified, so it's powered.
yeah,
And I think that's another switch on there. I can't remember.
I'm sure. About this.
But it's an amplified rugged radio speaker, and so when you
Oh,
don't have the
yeah.
headset
It's in-
on,
in
it's
the
in the glove
dash,
box
yeah.
because it wasn't like just the radio itself
Yeah.
is not loud enough for me. Like, I can't hear it.
To overhear them.
Yeah, and so we put the amplified speaker in it, and so if you're not running the headsets, it's still like there's a splitter on it.
Yeah. So it's like a normal radio if you don't have the headset on.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is, and the thing is, we have just the front in there, but it's a full intercom system. It's a 4-person intercom system.
That's what I was fixing to say. So as Sonny gets older, you could technically talk to
Yeah,
him too.
yeah. So they make like headphones and stuff
Yeah.
like that with mics, and so we'll be able to get him one. they do make like just 2-person intercoms, but I was like,
You knew.
Yeah, I knew. And if anybody ever rode in the back, I could always get more headsets.
Yeah.
And we went with like the standard STX. Like there's Alpha Bass or whatever.
Yeah.
There's one lower, but we went like just middle of the road, and I'm kind of happy we went just middle of the road.
Very good quality, very crisp, clean sound, and a lot of
definitely do over the ear, but versus behind the ear, because I think the behind the ear it like grips your head too much.
Me a headache.
Versus like over the ears, just like these.
Yeah.
I
just like muffs.
Yeah. I mean, these are already getting tired. My ears, but I cut grass today, so I was listening to like for the last.
So these
hours.
don't ever bother me, and I think a lot of this comes from wearing my welding helmet for so long.
Yeah,
like something being on top of my head doesn't bother me. So those are super comfortable, and they're really good quality. So I like those. That'll probably be my next, I guess, interior big purchase one day.
Yeah, there's a lot about my Jeep. We just need to do a walk around because I've already thought about like 5 more things that are not. It's big things.
Yeah.
Like the roof.
Yeah.
Stuff like that you don't think about because it's not wheels, tires, bumpers that everybody wants to know about. It's but it can make a huge difference.
Well, and it's so you have a couple different lists there. You have visual that everybody kind of goes for. That's what you're talking about,
right.
Wheels and tires, right? Then you get into kind of more of the practical version,
which is very hard to talk to a customer about. Of, hey, it looks good, but
it's not very practical.
Not very practical, or it's not going to work like you think it's going to work.
Exactly. Yeah,
because
don't waste your money on that.
Yeah, but it's very hard to tell a customer like that. That let's say they do wheel, right? Yeah. They go off roading a lot, and they want to put this particular part on name whatever. Part X, whatever, yeah. And you're like, yeah, it looks great, but off road it's trash. Yeah. Like on road, yeah, great. Yeah. You want to do that, but off road is not. I mean, great part, but it's not for what you want to do.
Yeah, I do think that there are definitely 2 different types of people in the Jeep world. You have the pavement princesses, which I don't have a problem with. I have a couple different Jeeps, and one I'm going to build, and that's all it's going to do. That's fine if you have that. And a lot of the parts that you can budget build those into is perfectly fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
The problem is that you have people that want to at some point cross pollinate their
they want to transition into the off-road world, or they start building from the off-road into the off-road world right off the gate. But they see all these people that are just going down the street, and they buy parts that
they did
because they went to a meet and greet. Nothing against meet and greets, but you see all these parts, and you're like, that must work because they have it. Yeah, but they've never been off-road, so it doesn't work.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest determining factor, which is usually there's 2 questions typically that are asked first when you come to Waypoint is, what are you thinking about doing? And what do you plan on doing with your Jeep?
Like how much do you wheel a year?
Yeah. Like
if you tell me less than like 6 times a year, we're going to go one route.
Yeah.
And versus, hey, I'm wheel once a month.
Yeah, right. And it plays a huge factor into not only the budget of what you're building, but then also the quality of the parts.
Yeah, and like take for example something super easy as a lift, because I that would be a common thing.
Yeah, everybody wants one.
Everybody wants a lift, tires, whatever. But just going to a lift, I'm going to recommend a certain kind of joint for that lift, depending on what you tell me.
Yeah.
So if you tell me, hey, I want to just a good-looking Jeep, I'm probably going to be driving it. It's my daily.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to go with more of a rubber style joint, like just a not like in our world or our shop world. Other shops might have different names, or if you go some other state, they might call something different.
Goose joint.
Yeah. We call it a rubber joint, so more of a solid joint. It still flexes, but it's
more rigid.
No maintenance, really.
Yeah.
Unless the joint completely blows
Fails,
out. Yeah. Or you have a flex joint.
Yeah.
And then you cross into the rock crawler and Heims and so on and so forth.
Racing applications.
Yeah. But if you're going to come talk to me and say, hey, I'm not going to wheel, I'm just driving road, I'm putting a rubber joint in it.
Yeah, I think that's another, that could be a completely different topic too, talking about lift kits. Like, I think the most people, I want a lift kit on my Jeep, and you Google lift kits for Jeeps, and the first thing you see is springs and shocks.
Yeah, like,
Right. And
don't even get me started.
exactly, that's why I was saying that could be a completely different podcast. If we could do a complete
makes
episode.
my brain hurt.
But I think
Because
they see that.
because they see the price.
Exactly. That goes back to that budget thing. But it also goes to, I only need that to make my Jeep lifted.
And it's not even close.
It's true.
Oh yeah,
It's a true statement.
Yes.
That is all I need to lift my Jeep.
yeah. Do you want it to
Period.
drive right?
There we go.
Yeah.
The next sentence is do
Yeah.
you want it to drive worth the crap and operate like it's supposed to?
Oh yeah.
Right? So I think that's a lot of the misconception and what people think. Oh, well, like you said, well, he put springs and shocks on his and he's fine. He's been driving it for 2 weeks. Well, yeah, he's only had the Jeep for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Right? So another podcast for another day.
Yeah. We could go on tangents forever.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we're gonna need to do a Jeep walk around video. I know I did one prior to us doing the craziness that is now the Waypoint X Jeep.
Yeah.
Not a lot has changed.
Oh, I want
except
y'all
the
to.
lift.
I want to in the comments. I need names for his Jeep because I call it something different every time. Megatron's been kind of
See, we just call it Waypoint X. Just
Yeah, I want.
You
I
want
want
names?
Yes, I want to see what they want to call it, and
Okay,
let's just see what we get.
See what we get.
Yeah, just comment below.
Yeah, comment below. Yeah, there is, and we've got some other stuff that we still need to show y'all. So
Oh,
not on this
yeah.
Jeep, but just other
Yeah.
projects.
I think I'll walk around the shop too because the shop's kind of come a long way with tools and stuff that we've got.
Oh yeah, like Adam's, been working in the shop and stuff like that, but take care of him the best I can. But like we spend probably for every 1 day in the shop working on somebody's Jeep, we're doing 1 day of upgrades to the shop.
Oh, I would say yeah. It's probably 1-to-1.
It's probably 1-to-1,
Mm-hmm.
which he doesn't get any benefit from besides he gets to use it on his Jeep.
I would tend to disagree with that because when you upgrade the shop, it makes my life a lot easier.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's a big benefit for me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But it's not like benefiting you in a way
Oh,
of
in my
like
pocket.
Yeah, pocket
Yeah.
or parts or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And so it's not benefiting you because we don't pay you to help with the shop, but it's
Exactly.
like a buddy thing.
Yeah.
But
for sure.
you are going to get
A benefit from it.
a major benefit from it.
Yeah, for sure.
Like CNC table.
Oh
like
yeah, that was clutch.
making our own parts and tube bender and press brake and
Yeah.
you name it. We've
Yeah.
got
So that's kind of we'll get into the shop talk at some point, but the ability for us to custom fabricate now has, I would tell you, that's probably been the biggest leap that we've made, especially as of
yeah.
here recent. I mean, we've always had grinders and cut off wheels and sawzalls and welders, but I mean the ability to, like you said, CNC plasma a part or bend a piece of tube is completely different now.
like, hey, and the biggest problem is nothing against these manufacturers. They're just
no.
making, hey, I got a TJ, got a JK, whatever the case may be, and they're making a bracket for that shock bracket. They're making a bracket for a shock that was for a certain kit or for certain this, that, and the other.
Yeah, they either make it super universal,
Yeah.
which fits 18 million things
Yeah,
that can cause a problem, or it only fits one.
exactly. And we might need a half-inch longer or
Anything.
a different angle
Yeah.
or you name it.
Well, that was the 3-link thing that we did for mine.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way you could have bought that part off the shelf.
No.
Not even close.
And then I made all the triangular, like the
gussets
bracing
and stuff.
gussets off of
Yeah.
it. And we just cut them out.
Yeah, that was super cool there. Absolutely cool.
And so like that's been a big game changer. We're just able to make one-off parts. So I'll let him do all the measuring.
Yeah, because I read
that's
the tape measure.
Yeah, I can read one.
Okay, yeah, let's preface that. He can definitely read a tape measure.
Yeah,
He just doesn't like to use them.
but I'm really good.
Yeah, his ichrometer is pretty spot on. I'll give him credit for that.
Give me credit
'Cause
for that.
It does drive me insane.
He hates when like a level.
Oh my God! So I come from a background, like I said, in structural fab, and I was a QMC. I was a QC manager for over 5-6 years, and I built structure. So I built hospitals and hotels and all these things, and it has to be inspected and checked with a tape measure. That was my world. So coming in the shop and we're building something, and to see somebody pick something up and just kind of wing it, for lack of a better term,
Eyeball it.
yeah. I cringe. I have to like close my eyes when he
So
does stuff like that.
I use the tape measure, the level, and the angle finder
after
to check myself.
Yeah, it's after. Yeah, it's
like usually you use that
prior
to, but I use it to double check me.
Yeah. Yeah, his favorite game to play is, hey, watch this. And then he'll do something, or he'll build something, or he'll put something on. And then he'll say, hold on just a second. And he'll look at it, and he'll adjust it. And then he goes, okay, check it. Just so he can see how close he was to being right.
Yeah. I got two stories on that. Like, one, we were putting up this right here.
Oh, yeah, the trim. Yeah.
The trim in here. And I was putting up, like, these horizontal pieces. And he was like, you're not going to use a level?
Oh, my God.
And I said, nah, bro. So I knew where it wanted because I was going off the one on the side that I mounted already. I was like, they got to be level, right? They can't, like, one can't be off, so you're just matching it up. So I literally just send it with screws.
Oh, into the sheetrock.
Into the sheetrock, no nut,
Oh,
like
my
just
God.
full send. And I said, brother, I bet it's dead on. He's like, there's no way. Like, no level in sight, no tape measure in sight, no nothing.
I had to go get one out of the toolbox.
Yeah. He goes and gets a level. And I'm not trying to pat myself on the back by no means, but he goes and gets a level and he puts it on there and it is dead on.
Yeah. Like I literally just set it up there, looked at it, turned around, walked out. Like I didn't even say anything. I was like, all right, that's enough.
And then we were putting up, we bought some can holder, like the spray paint can holders.
Oh, yeah. On the wall, yeah.
On the wall. And we like mounted them on top of each other. And I literally took a can.
Yeah.
And was just like, that looks right.
In the time that he was doing this, because I knew what he was doing. Like I've been around enough now to know. So we mount the first one. He grabs 2 spray paint cans and puts them in the shelving.
Kind of see how you can pull them out.
Yeah. And he grabs the other shelf, and I immediately went to the toolbox to get a tape measure because I knew it was fixing to happen. And he's playing with it, and he's holding it on the wall. He's like, all right, put a screw in it. And I was like, there's whatever. I said, are you sure you don't want me to check it? And he was like, just put a screw in it. And I was like, fine, whatever. So I just sent it, screwed it to the wall. And he's like, you going to check it? And I was like, yeah. So I kind of like hit
Didn't I say I was like, I was within a certain...
Yeah, he was like, I bet it's within an eighth. And I was like, there's no way you got that within an eighth holding a freaking paint can or whatever.
Eighth of an inch, guys. Like, that's not a lot.
Yeah, you're 2/16 here. We're pretty small. If you know how to read a tape measure, you know how short that is. And so I was like, there's no way. So I kind of hid the tape measure, and it was so close that I literally couldn't hide it. I was just like, oh my God. It was less than a 16th. So I was just like, I get. But
I do it with an angle finder too, which is weird.
Yeah, when he sets up, arms and pinion angles and stuff like that, that's his game. That's how he mentally gets himself excited about suspension stuff, is to see if he can do it, eyeballing it, and then he'll check it. And he's like, all right, I think I got it.
No, I do check it, guys. I do check it.
Oh, 100% it's checked. Guaranteed to check. Like he has 2 angle finders. They're in place. He does all his checking, and the final inspection is done. Trust me, it's done with a tape measure or an angle finder. But his game is to see if he can do it by eyeball, and I'll as bad as I hate to say it, most of the time he's pretty good.
Yeah. So Adam has already said he would not hire me.
Oh yeah, if he was at my shop, there's no way.
Like he does fabrication.
Yeah.
Like they have to read a tape measure every day. Like you have to do it to cut the steel right.
Yeah. We do wastewater treatment facilities, so we're dealing with steel pipe that has to be like
millions of dollars worth of pipe.
Yeah, and we're dealing with eighths and less of an inch to put this stuff together. But like every time we go to weld something or put something together, when we're fabbing something, like I said, that's his game. Let me see how close I can get it without a tape measure. So and it drives me insane because he gets it close.
Really close.
Yeah, I mean, there's a million stories that I could tell you because he plays this game every day. This is like a kid with a Nintendo. That's him. He wants to see how close he can get without a tape measure. Like he cuts columns. We've got a rack in the shop that we've put steel material on that he built last week, and he literally cut a 4x4, like a treated 4x4. He cut it. And he was like, I think that's right. And I was like, you think? He was like, yeah. So he stands it up. But we're talking like a 10, 12-foot long piece here.
Like $20 to $30 4x4.
Yeah, right? And I'm just like, dude, why didn't you measure it? And he's like, oh, it's all right. I couldn't find a tape measure. And I was like, they're in the drawer. They live in the drawer. So he stands it up, and there it is. It's right. So I was like, I give up. So, yeah. It kills me.
But it just makes sense in my head. Like, I didn't train myself. I was around it. My dad doing fabric. motorcycles.
Yeah.
And everything,
That's another podcast, too.
Yeah, it's an old other podcast and just stuff
That's
like that. And so that's where I got my mechanical stuff from. And he worked on cars prior to me being born.
But he never had a Jeep? He was never a Jeep guy?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
But he understood suspension, which was not
where you get
shocking,
that.
but like, yeah, because I won't give away the podcast, but he was in NASCAR.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
I think we should do one on that.
Yeah.
I think that's another good episode.
Yeah, so he understood, the up travel and that,
How to set it
how to
up.
set up a vehicle, and I think that's where I got it from.
Yeah.
And then the motocross world, I come from motocross world and understanding like compression and rebound and
Yeah, for those of you who do not know, to look at Judd, if you don't know him and you first meet him, the first impression that you'll always get is Jeep, and obviously due to the mustache, also firefighter. You would never guess that motorcycles were a huge, huge part of his life, and I missed that completely. And we'll get into that in another episode, but did some motocross riding and won a championship on dirt bike.
yeah,
and
like
stuff
state
that.
stuff.
Yeah, so
But
that's
yeah,
pretty
it was
cool.
fun. I've slowed down a little bit because I've hit the ground one too many times.
That you've gotten older.
Yeah, things don't work like they used to. I'll start back up when Sonny if he gets into it. But no, that's where I learned it from. Though.
I'm pushing for Sonny. Just Sonny, if you don't know, is his how old is Sonny
19
now?
months or something like that.
Okay,
So
so just shy
close
of 2
to 2
years.
Yeah, basically
2-year-old son, and I'm pushing for Sonny to have a single seat rear steer buggy by the time he's 12. So
if not sooner.
yeah.
I think he could probably will it before that.
So Sonny already has a dirt bike that he gets ridden on pretty much every day, and the kid loves it. So he's going to grow up in that world too. I venture to say that I think at a very, very early age, Sonny's going to have a lot of advantages with social media and the ability to Google stuff and look up stuff, and then also have a shop in his backyard to see how stuff's built.
Mm-hmm.
It'll surprise me if Sonny's not a fabricator by the time he's a teenager.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
I guarantee you by 10 he's able to like put a bead down somewhere.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, he comes in the shop now and he's calling out tools. Like, he'll pick up tools. That are on the ground and call
bring me
them out.
a story.
Yeah, exactly.
We were
yeah.
working on like a JL or something like that. It was already up on the lift.
Yeah.
And you had your hand up there, like you're like, crap. If I'm basically gonna have to start over.
So he couldn't let go of it.
Yeah, he drops a bolt
Yeah.
on the floor. It's me. Sonny's in there.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was doing at the time, but
You were on the other side. You were working on suspension, and there was tools, nuts and bolts, hammers,
all kind of stuff. And you
on
were
the
like,
floor.
and you asked Sonny's like playing with some whatever, and you ask Sonny like,
As a joke. As complete as a joke.
18 months
Yeah.
old, and you ask Sonny, hey, can you get that bolt for me?
I was like, hey, hand me that bolt, buddy.
And he literally goes straight to the bolt and hands it to you.
Yeah.
He knows he knows what a bolt is.
And he knew what a socket was,
He
because
kn-
remember, the socket was on the ground next to it.
Yeah, he knows what a socket is, and he'll sail.
Yeah. Hammer, socket.
Tire,
Yeah.
bumper.
Yeah, the first thing he normally says when he walks in the shop, if we have a vehicle on the lift, is Jeep.
Yeah.
Like he calls it out. So yeah, he would. I'm gonna tell you that he's already there mentally. Like, I think he sees
gets it.
Yeah,
he gets it.
Yeah.
He's probably like, Dad, you're doing it wrong.
Well, I hope I live long enough to see that day.
Yeah, see that day. Like he's gonna like, so I hope he surpasses me on the level of understanding.
Well, that's what a good father's supposed to do. Is you always want your kids to be better than you.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, so I think.
I think he will, especially being in it so young.
Exactly. So I could see him like doing the wee rock and the rock crawling competition stuff.
Yeah.
Because you got in it kind of late, and so did
yeah.
I. I got in it pretty late too. It's hard to be competitive. Well, you know this. Kids nowadays come up so fast and learn so fast.
Right.
If you're not in it, like the dirt bike thing,
Yeah.
you riding a dirt bike. If you're not really, really good, or you didn't grow up in that world, it's hard to be competitive.
Oh yeah.
So Sony's got a really good spot, I think, if that's what he chooses to do.
Right.
The shop's here, the knowledge is here, and
He already is saying shop and
Yeah.
want to go outside and want to
he
do
gets
stuff.
like physically upset if he can't be in the shop. And
Oh,
he's
yeah.
2. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah,
And it's not just him being 2.
Oh no, he wants to be out here.
Yeah. And he does not care. I mean, he'll be covered in grease.
Man,
and dirt.
he was so dirty that day we were cleaning up, and he did not care at all.
No, like, I mean, there's like grease all over his face, hands.
And he's picking stuff up and throwing it away. Remember, he was putting stuff in the trash can?
Yeah. You can be like, hey, trash, and he'll go throw it in the trash can.
Yeah.
At 18 months. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, he's super cool. He's a good kid.
So, but yeah. Man, what a podcast.
Yeah, right. Kind of lengthy. Sorry we got off topic.
Like, I when we were talking, we were like, the first one might need to be like 20, 30 minutes. I think I might just roll with this one.
Yeah.
See how people like a longer podcast. Because most podcasts out there are in that hour or more range. I know when we started the first season, we were like 20, 30 minutes, because we wanted like just quick topics, stuff like that. But I really don't feel like you get...
It's hard to get into a topic and get all the details that you want to get.
Yeah, and all the tangents.
Yeah.
You really have to be careful
where you're
squirrels.
Going. Yeah, right. Yeah.
All those things. But I think you get a bigger picture of who we are.
Yeah, and where we're going.
It's not, a news story on the TV where you're just getting the facts and just getting... what's happening now, and it's just like, oh, here's the information. Okay, bye.
Yeah. Lot left to be desired. Like, I don't know everything. Wait a minute.
Yeah, like, hey, tell me what's actually happening.
Yeah, what's going on?
Like, what's going on? So I think this gives a bigger picture into Waypoint X.
For sure.
Into our world. We've talked about it, but like, me being young and just kind of, I guess the fireman in me, like not getting like super hyped.
Yeah.
Per se, and me just kind of being standing in the corner, like if you don't talk to me, I might not talk to you. Just because I'm chill. Like it's not because I don't like you. It's just I'm chilling.
Yeah, it's a personality thing. It's not. He's not doing it because he's trying to be stuck up or he thinks he's better than anybody else. And I'm kind of the same way.
Brother, I'm thinking about 100 other things.
Yeah. Most of the time.
Probably why that Jeep doesn't work.
Exactly what I was going to say. 90% of the time, if we're around a Jeep, the reason we're not talking is because we're looking at the Jeep.
Yeah.
Or a Jeep.
Whatever it is. Yeah. So, if you do want to talk to me or you do have a question, please come up to me in the wild,
Absolutely, yeah.
And if you ever have a question for any of us, please hit us up, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. You can email us. So his is Adam at waypointx.net and mine's Judd, Judd. Some people forget the extra.
Yeah, the extra D.
The extra D at the end. So waypointx.net.
There it is. That's what I was going to say. Don't forget about the website. We got a new website up.
Yeah, we do have a new website up. Kind of linked all of it into one. So it's the shop and more of the off-road adventure company. The whole shebang.
Yeah, it's all in one.
Yeah. And so we've got that up. We're working on a bunch of things as far as like Shopify and some things, some swag, things of that nature. Still working on all that. Because it's just very small, and then I've got a full-time job. My wife has a full-time job. This guy's got a full-time job. Scott's got a full-time job.
Yep.
We are putting a ton of effort into this. A lot of late nights, a lot of long hours. I mean, he'll leave the shop, and then we're still texting at like 10 o'clock at night, and this guy's getting up at like 4 the next morning to go to work. And so, like, there's a lot of those nights that we are doing that. Not one to make ourselves better, to understand the platform better, but to just grow the brand and grow the business. And
if it's not a customer's Jeep that we've experienced a problem on that we're trying to solve, it's usually a bouncing ideas off of or asking a question. Hey, I saw this. Have you seen this? Have you experienced this kind of thing? So it's a constant learning.
Or trying to show up the other person of their not Jeep knowledge at 10 o'clock at night. Google or ChatGPT saved me on that one. Yeah, because I was like, I almost like it was a fact. It was the Dana 35 that was like the first year of the JK. 07. They put it in a few, and there was another little argument in there, and I was like, I had known that it had happened.
Yeah,
but when I said it to you, in my mind, I was not 100% positive.
He's like, I'm going on a limb here.
Like, I'm really going on a limb when I tell him this. Like I said, I was like 95% that I knew
I have a great idea for a podcast now. I think you guys should come up with Jeep questions that I can ask to see if we can stump him. that's a great idea.
If it's way back, like CJ stuff, like
we'll give you a break. We'll say TJJK, or we'll say JK specific, or we can say
I'll let you go JL.
All right, there you go, folks.
Now, if it goes into the trim packages,
are we doing?
So going back to the JK, what we were talking about earlier on the trim packages, and then we've got to stop.
Yeah.
But we'll talk forever. Literally, the wife would come home with like dinner and be like, "What were y'all doing?" "Oh no, we were just talking to each other."
Yeah,
with the video camera on. Like first podcast, 4 hours long.
4 hours later.
Yeah, no one watched. Like episode 1, part 1.
Yeah. Yes.
But Scott's Jeep.
Yeah.
Rubicon, right?
Yeah.
2018, last year, the JK.
Okay.
So in 18, they started making
the JL.
But
That's right.
But it was a split year.
Yes. That is correct.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
He has a JK 4-door, unlimited. Rubicon. I think it's the Recon. Is that like?
Oh yeah. It is. Yep. That's right.
Tell me what's different. I'll help you out. The Recon Edition had not the original 44 in the front.
Ultimate 44?
It had an Ultimate.
There we go. Yep.
Okay.
That's right.
But there was something different about his. It was ordered from the factory with 373 gears.
What?
It did not have Rubicon gears in it.
Really?
Yeah. Even on the hood, because if you go look at his, I don't know if he still has it, but like the factory like logo decals, because it had that like Recon or whatever look to it, or special decals that had it on it. It says like 411s or whatever, 410s, 410s, whatever it was on it. I can't remember what the number was on it, but it said the gear ratio on it. It said like all the Rubicon stuff on it.
Yeah.
But no joke, that Jeep, he didn't order it. It was just on the lot. They ordered it with 373s.
Wow.
And I had another Jeep that had
the more you know.
I had another Jeep, the same thing. One of my first customers, black, like early model JK, Rubicon. And so we put a lift on, put bigger tires on. So we went from like 33s to 35s. So we got him like Taser or whatever, whatever
scan tool
to change tire size. So I put all that in, and the Jeep freaks out because I like confirmed, it's got four,
Yeah.
It's got it in it. It did not. It was ordered. It had 373s.
Wow.
And it was a Rubicon. The more you know.
Yeah.
So just a little quick insight of just how things can stump you, even the JKs, you know, and now you have the JLs that have all, basically us going back to the beginning of this podcast.
Yeah.
Is everything's changing. The trim models change.
And the gears and stuff in there.
The gears change because it depends on whether you ordered it or...
Yeah.
And the thing is, the dealerships have no idea.
They do not.
And so...
get your build sheet, folks. If you have the option to get your build sheet, get your build sheet. And you
can still get it if you don't have it. You can go to like Jeep website and actually see what your Jeep had in it from the factory.
100%.
And I do that a lot.
Yeah.
I'll go pull their VIN and see exactly what it came with from the factory, so that way we can make the proper adjustment, educated
decisions on what we're doing.
Exactly. And so now with the JLs, which they've got a new name on the side or whatever.
Oh yeah,
for whatever it is.
Yeah.
And so, with that being said, we learn stuff every day because they are different. And when you see a Rubicon or you see a Sahara or you see a Sport, whatever,
Mojave, or
sometimes it is not what you think it is.
Yeah. It's not until you actually get under it and start digging into it do you figure out.
Yeah, or the build sheet.
Yeah,
go all the way there. So, make sure you do your homework. And know that just because it has a sticker on the side does not mean it's true.
That's right. Yeah. You can put a Rubicon sticker on anything.
Yeah, you can. So great first podcast.
Absolutely. Thanks for hanging in there, guys. If you're still here.
Yeah, if you're still here. Hopefully we didn't go too crazy. We had taken a break like right in the middle of it because I was like, I feel like we've been talking along, and I saw like an hour on there. But I think it's been good.
For sure.
I'd rather do a longer style podcast because, like, just thinking about when we were talking, just thinking about it, just, getting to know us more, and being able to have, like, they're in the conversation too.
Yeah. Feel like you're part of it.
Part of it versus us just spitting out facts or
advertisement.
Yeah, basically
right.
a 20-minute advertisement of this is a Jeep. This is what it does. Bye.
Yeah. Call us tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. Because that was a lot of the first thing was like, hey, off-road recovery, and we basically spit out 20 minutes of this, or hey, this is Jeep JL's 20 minutes of this.
Yeah.
And it was just like, whoa.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like it was like intriguing, in
Yeah.
depth, yeah. So, but it's been good. So if you have any questions, please put them in the comments section. Leave us leave us thumbs
Follow.
up. All the
things.
That y'all do.
Yeah.
We will be posting this to Spotify. So the first season is on Spotify. So if you'd like to go back and listen to that, it is on there. But we do post all the episodes to YouTube as well because that's where the majority of our followers are.
Absolutely.
We'll be posting it there. Send us email if you have a topic that you would like us to discuss.
Yeah, for sure.
We might just throw that topic in the middle of
randomly.
Like this. Like we are literally looking at our computer right now, and it said 20 to 40 minutes. And it gave us like all the little points, and we way went over that.
Yeah, we had an itinerary, and we followed it through the first two lines, and then the next 64 we skipped.
Well, my eyes are not as strong anymore, so it was like, whoa.
Absolutely not.
So, but it's been good.
Yeah.
So thank you, Adam, for coming on.
Man.
It's been good having a good talk, and like I said, hit that subscribe button, leave us a like, leave us a comment, and with all that, we hope to see you out on the trail. See you next time.
Later.